Shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom. Brother Naquam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts. And into the cold cut, giving, of course, our honor and our glory to Yahweh.
Israel, shalom, shalom. Brother Naquam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts. And into the cold cut, giving, of course, our honor.
Right? Giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Malak Yahushai. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades. The elders of Israel patiently waiting for the second coming of Mashiach Malak Yahushai. A hearty, mighty shalom to all of the men of the Lord, the mighty men out there teaching on the highways and byways, apostles, prophets, teachers, evangelists, pastors out there, bringing back the sheep back to Yahweh Yahushai. Shalom to those men risking their life to do this work in the last days. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there on the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, they're fasting, they're studying. They're being diligent and abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the Aquath out there, the sincere sisters out there, holding it down in the household, reverencing their husbands, being submissive, being diligent, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to everybody tuning in live on the Monday Night Fire, HBKN, Israel, DSTM, Don't Shoot the Messenger, Melodic Tunes, LLC, Yazayan, David Yehuda Israel, Call Me Kami, Sarai Yasha'Allah, Elijah Jones, Donnie Blasto, Jennifer Figueroa, Emily Jones, Salome Williams, Papa Allah, Yehuda, Yah Yisrael, from Egypt to Israel, and everybody else tuning in and that will tune in, Lord willing. All praises to Yahweh, Shema Mashiach, Malak Yahushai. We got a beautiful topic lined up through the spirit and power of the Most High and his son, Yahushai. It's a topic that must be addressed. It must be discussed. It must be brought out. I mean, there's no other way to put it. You know, a lot of times we're giving counsels, dealing with a lot of sticky marriage situations. We're dealing with a lot of madness in Israel, a lot of folly, a lot of vanities. People have regrets. There's a high divorce rate. You would think you come into the truth, then things would be a little bit more according to the spirit and power of the Most High, his son, man. But you have a high divorce rate in Israel. You have a high level of putting away, or high rate of men putting away wives leaving their husbands. You have all types of madness and secrecy and confusion going on within the nation, and a lot of this stuff can be avoided, right? Just outright can be avoided. Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and 3, where I want to kick it off with this precept. A lot of the madness that brothers and sisters are dealing with, it can be avoided, right? If you apply the precepts. But if you want to do what your flesh wants to do, you want to freak off and have no discernment and do God knows what and move in the secret works of darkness and be evil, then you're going to eat of the fruit of your own labor, right? The Most High said, be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. So let me get this in Proverbs 22 and 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. So the Most High said a prudent man is a man that deals with wisdom, a man that can essentially foresee what may happen to him because he's circumspect and he weighs everything out in the balance. He weighs the good that may befall it. He weighs the risk. You understand, that may befall the situation, and he analyzes it and he thinks about it before it happens so he can avoid that danger to himself or his household, right? I'm going to read that again in Proverbs 22 and 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil. So you may be in a situation, there's a lot of courting going on, right? And rightfully so. You got a lot of brothers and sisters coming into the truth. You got men coming into the truth by the hundreds and thousands. You got sisters coming into the truth by the hundreds and thousands. Now, with that being said, there's marriage that's taking place, and it's a beautiful thing, right? The Most High said in Hebrews chapter 13 and 4 that marriage is honorable and all, right? Let's get that real quick in Hebrews chapter 13 and 4, right? This is the book of Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled, but whoremongers and adulterers the Most High will judge. So when you have a lawful marriage, according to the law, statutes, and the commandments, that's not rooted in lust or rooted in money which ultimately goes back to lust and idolatry, and it's not rooted in confusion, that's an honorable marriage. And the Most High is with that marriage, and the Most High prospers that marriage. You understand? That's an honorable thing in the eyes of the Lord. And the bed undefiled. The bed undefiled is speaking about a bed that is undefiled because the man and the woman are what? Having lawful, or they're laying down together lawfully, and there's no prostitution going on. There's no sodomy going on. There's no lewd fornication going on. There's no types of adultery going on. There's no whatever these terms that they throw out there now, man. Friends with benefits, sneaky links, all types of madness. If you're dealing with that, that bed is defiled because it's not according to the law, statutes, and the commandments. It's not pure. But an honorable marriage, that is holy in the eyes of the Lord, man. And if you're dealing with a whoremongering, meaning you're a man profiting off of your woman's body and just laying from woman to woman to woman, or you're a whore, the Most High is going to get up with you, meaning you're laying down with man to man to man. And we're going to go into certain red flags when it comes to courting. Now, courting essentially is proving someone, right? When you prove someone, you get to know them, right? You get to understand what type of person this individual really is and what their spirit is about. And there's a lot of courtships in Israel. Some men are courting right now. You may be watching this and you may say, well, I'm courting his sister. There may be a sister watching this and say, well, look, I'm courting his brother. Now, you may not know what to look out for. A lot of brothers come into this thing, and your experience in time past may not have given you the knowledge to know what to avoid and what not to avoid. You know, some brothers come into this thing naked and not ashamed. Some sisters come into this thing naked and not ashamed, meaning naive to what evil is. Now, I'm going to go to Ecclesiasticus, the 4th chapter. I just want to get these preliminary precepts. Right? Let's go to Ecclesiasticus, the 4th chapter. And it's not against them, right? It's not against someone who comes into this thing and may not be aware, because everybody comes from, different walks before this truth. Brothers experience different things. Sisters, they experience different things. Some brothers may already know what to look out for. Some brothers may not know. Some sisters may already know. They may have been in God knows how many relationships in the world, and they may kind of have a level head to understand what's profitable and what's unprofitable. And vice versa. Now, this is Sirach, the 4th chapter, right? This is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 4 and verse 20, right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 4 and 20. Observe the opportunity and beware of evil, and be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul, which means you have to be on a particular level to know what to look out for. That's what the Most High said. You can't be so simple. When evil comes at you, you don't even know that it's evil. You have to know what evil is. You have to know smoking crack is wrong. You have to know shooting up dope is wicked. You have to know smoking weed is ungodly. You have to know going to the strip club is lewd and vile and corrupt. You can't just, I don't know where I'm in. It's a bunch of women in here. They have no clothes on. What is this about? And then there are these long silver things. They look like poles, and I don't know what's going on. It's kind of weird. No, you have to know. Hold on, brother. That's off. That's called a so-and-so and so-and-so, man. You shouldn't be there. You have to know what evil is, man. Brother, you can't be simple in this thing. And a lot of brothers and sisters, it's sad to say, simplicity just runs their entire walk in this truth, man. And they find themselves in 5 courtships in 1 month. They were divorced, and they got put away. Then they joined this camp and committed adultery. Then they joined this camp and courted a brother, but got put away and lied, and then joined this camp and said that camp was wicked. So they married a brother in this camp. Then they got put away. Then this brother don't know. He didn't hit up this camp, so he proving a sister that was put away from 2 other camps. And it's just madness. Women changing their profile picture, pretending to be somebody else. Men flying women out from God knows where, dealing with them, right? Laying down with them. They just met them on day 1, man. You fly a woman out from damn Oregon, right, to damn wherever you are, and I don't know, Atlanta, and I'm just be real. You just popped a woman, man. I'm not going to hold my tongue tonight. You know, I've been kind of using moderation, but I have to be transparent. If I'm not transparent and we're not going to be authentic, then we're not going to do this video, because we're going to have to call it how it is, man. We're just going to have to call it what it is. Now, people are committing all types of lewd behavior, man. And if you don't know how to move in this truth and be prudent and be aware of evil, you're going to be caught out there and you're going to be a victim. And a lot of people fall out the truth, man. They get offended. You know, some people are in this thing for the wrong reason. Some people come in this truth and they had one bad so-called relationship, proven process or courting process, and they are offended and they don't want nothing to do with Israelite men because the man they was dealing with was wicked and turned them off to the whole truth. You know, this thing is madness, man. It's a cesspool of madness. So I'm going to read this again in Ecclesiasticus, the 4th chapter, right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 4 and verse 20. Observe the opportunity and beware of evil. So that's the purpose of this Monday Night Fire, is to teach the men and women how to be aware of evil, what to avoid, what to look out for. So when it comes your way, you know it's off. Beware of evil and be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul. So when these red flags pop up, you're supposed to take immediate action. You can't ignore it and your simplicity. You're supposed to hold on. That's evil. The brother said that was a habit of a wicked woman. Sister said that. I mean, the brother said that that's a habit of a wicked man. Hold on. I remember that. That's a red flag. We know what a red flag is. A red flag is pretty much an alarm, a stop. It says, hold on now. That's off. A lot of brothers, you ignore it. You know this sister is off and you're just ignoring it, man. Because you're just thinking about lewd sex. You just want to lay up with her. And women, the same thing, man. Couldn't get no kind of man in the world. The dudes kind of left you, whatever. You had bad relationships. And you're just avoiding the snares and flags because this brother got fringes on and a beard on his face, man. And he's in some camp. And you're going to be caught out there, man. And guess what? It's on your head. You're going to have to deal with it because you decided not to be aware of evil. Right? Let me read on in Sirach chapter 4 and 21. For there is a shame that bringeth sin, and there is a shame which is glory and grace. So if you're too shamefaced, and I'm not speaking about a righteous woman being shamefaced, I'm speaking about a man who is so bashful, who is so simple that when evil comes his way, he's a victim to it, right? And I use this example all the time with this verse. Like if somebody walked up on you with a crack pipe and they just put it in, you just let them just put it in your mouth, man. They say and they take the crack pipe and they then got the crack in there and they put it in your mouth and then light it, man. And you just do it. They say pull, blow, and you just inhaling it, man, because you're not ashamed that that's evil. You don't want to address it. You just want to, you're so simple. What are you doing to me? Why do I feel like this? I feel lightheaded. Why is this happening to me? Why are you doing this? And you're just smoking crack. Brother, you should say, no, that's off. I don't do that. You can't just let any demon have their way with you, man, and spiritually molest you. You got to speak up and say something. Oh, that's wicked. That's off. I'm not going to defile my temple. A lot of brothers, you just let stuff happen to you, man. You just put your head down and let these demons do God knows what to you, man, and these women. And vice versa, man. You're the same way, man. You let these women do God knows what to you and freak off, and you just accept it because you're so scared to say something. And it's not even that you always scared. You just are just blinded. Either you're blinded or you're just moving in lust, or you're simple. You know, and we're going to address this, man. And that goes for both parties. Now, reading on, Sirach 4 and 22. Except no person against thy soul, and let not the reverence of any man cause thee to fall. So don't put nobody before your salvation, right? It ain't worth it. It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. She's not worth it. He's not worth it. Your reverence, admiration, respect, love, how you feel about that person, it ain't worth it, man. Are you ready to lose the kingdom dealing with this wicked man? Are you ready to lose the kingdom with these lewd sex messages you get from this woman and you're not saying nothing about it? Is it worth it, brother? The Lord said, let not the reverence of any man. That applies to women too. Don't let your regard and respect and emotional attachments to another person cause you to lose the kingdom. Rather they're an elder, rather they're your best friend, rather it's a fellow sister, rather somebody you're courting, it don't matter. The Most High said, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm. In the book of Jeremiah, right? 17th chapter, the 5th verse. So I'm going to read on. Sirach chapter 4 and 23. Then I'm going to kind of get into it. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and 23. And refrain not to speak when there is occasion to do good, and hide not thy wisdom in her beauty. So you better speak up when something is off. Say something. If you see something off in this courtship, say something. If you don't know what to say, get counsel. I don't know what to say. This woman, she keeps sending me lewd, vile pictures every night. Right? I don't know how to rebuke her. Because you do have righteous men that say they rebuke women. That's off. Hey, look, I just want to get into the word. And vice versa. You have women dealing with wicked men, and the woman may not know what to say something. He keep asking me for money. Right? He say he doesn't work. He's trying to get a job, but he keeps asking to cash for me to cash app him $75 every 3 days. I don't know what to do. You better say something, man. Refrain not to speak when there is an occasion to do good, because you're going to destroy your own self. If you don't speak up, you're going to get cast down. It reads, and hide not thy wisdom in her beauty. So if there's a precept, an account you can go to correct that individual, do so. And if it's a righteous courtship, and if that person is humble and righteous, they're going to accept that correction and that rebuke, because you're giving wisdom the opportunity to place itself in the right time. You know? Now, with that being said, we're going to talk about men and women, right? Of course, we're not just going to get on wicked women, and we're not just going to get on wicked men. We're going to talk about wicked men and wicked women. And for men that are looking to court another wife, if you have a wife, or if you're looking to court a wife and you're single, or a woman, you know, you have been approached to be courted as a single sister. No married woman, I shouldn't have to say this, should be courting any damn body. You're married. Got a married sister talking about, oh, I'm courting him in Chicago. Oh, we just courting. My husband's cool with it. No married woman should be. That's called adultery. You're on the verge of committing adultery, right? And it's just outright wickedness and hatred, which is murder. So we're gonna cover it. Now, the first one we're gonna cover is for men, what to look out for when you're courting a sister. And then we're gonna cover for sisters what to look out for when you're in a courtship with a man. Right? We got a few things we want to go into. There's a lot, right? There's a lot we can get into. We can do this all night. We do this class 6 hours, 7 hours, twice told, till the sun come up. We're going to try to keep it as succinct as possible, man. And again, we're going to address for men when you're courting a woman, what to be aware of and what a red flag should be. And we're just going to go from there, right? So let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 7, right? Let's get the classic. Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 7. right? Sister said define single. They need to understand of that part, right? Well, yeah, if a sister that's single don't have a husband, right? A man that's single, he just doesn't have a wife, right? That's I hope that's understood, right? Hope that's laid out. Now, Sirach 6 and 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. So if you get a friend, it could be right now I'm gonna just keep it in the topic of the lesson, right? Talking about a sister, right? We'll apply it because we're dealing with courtship. If you have a sister that you are interested in, and there's nothing wrong with having a sister that you're interested in, right? There's no sin in that. You have certain men saying, well, just gotta go single to the day the Lord come back. Well, you don't have to. If that's what you choose, then that's what you choose. If that's the spirit the Most High put on you to be a unit to the day of the Lord, then that's the gift the Most High gave you. Is that gift given to all men? No. Right? Now, I want to get this real quick in the book of Matthew, the 19th chapter. Right? Let's go to St. Matthew, chapter 19. This St. Matthew, chapter 19 and verse 12. But there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb. So a eunuch is somebody essentially whose secret parts don't work, or they have been removed, or they decide not to use them. All right. So you have some eunuchs which are so born from their mother's womb. So you have men that are born without male genitalia, or they're eunuchs born without either part, right? Or it don't work. It reads, and there are some eunuchs which are made eunuchs of men. You have men that are castrated, men that are double castrated, they're made eunuchs of men. And there be eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it. And it doesn't mean they remove their genitalia from them. When the Most High said that there are certain men that have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake, he's speaking about men who have made the optimal decision to truly invest in the word of the Lord and not spend time with anything else, which means they're not courting another woman. They're not going to get married. They're going to solely deal with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai until the day of the Lord. If that's your gift, that's your gift. All praise to the Most High. Is it a sin if you're not a eunuch? No. Is it a sin if you have a wife? No. Right? Peter had a wife. There's no account of Paul having a wife. Are they both the elect? Yes. Right? Let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 1. It reads, 1 Corinthians 7 and 1. Now concerning the thing whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. So it's good for a man not to touch a woman, meaning a man should be really focused on his truth, right? He should be focused on serving the Most High, getting himself built up in the spirit. A lot of men come into this truth and they hasty to get a wife. They make that their number one priority. And they're going to lead themselves and that woman that they make their wife down a narrow road to destruction, because they have not put the Most High God first, but have set up a woman as their God and as an idol, and have sacrificed their time to that woman that they could have spent into reading. They sacrificed the time they could have spent fasting and studying and praying and getting built up, and they solely dedicated all of that to a woman. Therefore, they're going to die to death. You understand? Because they set up another idol in their heart, and that marriage is going to be corruptible. So it is good for a man not to touch a woman, right? Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband, right? Because a man that doesn't have a wife, he's single, and he's going to start feeling single, right? If you got ears to hear. Am I going to get extremely detailed? No, right? But he's going to start feeling single. So he's going to be burning, right? And he's going to he might deal with a prostitute, right? He might look at another man's wife because he's single. He's just looking at everybody. He can't control himself. Now he's talking to another brother's wife, man. You know, now he's doing God knows what. For that brother to chill out, brother, just get your own wife. Don't talk to this brother's wife, man. Don't deal with prostitution. Just get your own wife. So it's not a sin to have a wife. You understand? But a man really when he come into this thing, his primary focus should be building himself up, man. Because a lot of men are unfit to even be talking to a woman, man, to courting a woman, you know? Now, with that being said, I want to go back to Sirach, the 6th chapter, and I want to get into these red flags, right? I want to get into these red flags, but let me get this precept in Ecclesiasticus chapter 6 and 7. And I'm going to just name them, right? I'm going to just name some, and we're going to go down the list and just go from there, right? This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 6 and 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. So you want to prove somebody. The word prove means test. Want to put them to the test, man. Right? You want to sit there and really get to know that person, how they deal with great times, how they deal with bad times, man. Brothers know the song. New Edition got the song. I believe that's New Edition. Can you stand the rain? If that's not New Edition, then you correct me if I'm wrong, right? But they say they got the song. Can you stand the rain, man? They say storms may come. This I know, right? But can you stand the rain? Now, what does that mean? It means, yeah, not every day is going to be a good day when you're dealing with somebody. You're going to have your ups and downs. Now, when you're proving somebody, you want to know them when you're up, and you want to know them when you're down and when they're down, right? Because you can be this mysterious person when everything's good. Then when somebody deals with adversity, they turn to a whole nother person. They're like, hold on, who the hell is this person? You're punching holes in walls. You're cutting yourself. You're drinking alcohol till you drown yourself in liquor. You're not the person I thought you were. When stuff hit the fan, you change up, man. So you want to get to really know somebody, and it doesn't take, when you're courting somebody, it's not a 1 week deal, right? It's not a 1 week deal, man. You got brothers from Rebecca and Isaac. Well, you're not Rebecca and Isaac. Well, Isaac didn't really know Rebecca. Well, brother, that's different, right? That was set up by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Well, how do you know this isn't set up? Because you're not Isaac, brother. Well, maybe, brother, you're not Isaac, and that's not Rebecca. Yeah, brothers, they just want to do God knows what, man. Well, Hosea had a prostitute. I'm thinking I want to go get a prostitute. Brother, he did that as a sign for the children of Israel, man. Well, Isaiah walked around naked for 3 years or some change. I think I want to do that. Well, that's for a sign. Everything, you're not Isaiah. You're not Hosea. You're not Isaac. Well, Samson, I'm thinking, Samson was a strong man. And Samson, he had a Philistine, and he had a Canaanite. Brother, you're not Samson, right? And things are written for your learning. Samson's life is an example for your learning. It's a testament, man. And the point of the matter is, you want to prove a friend. I hope that's plain. I don't have to do a 3-hour lesson on proving a friend. And the Most High said, be not hasty to credit them. So it takes time. Courting somebody is not a 1 night. It's not a 1 week, not a 1 month, not a 2 month, not a 3 month. It takes time. Is there a set time limit on proving a friend according to the Most High? No, not exactly. Because every situation in the word of the Lord is different. Isaac and Rebekah's situation is different than Tobias and Anna's. That situation is different than Jacob and Rachel. You understand? Everybody's situation is different. Nevertheless, you want to have a set time to be able to prove somebody, man. Whether that takes a year and a half, rather 2 years, rather 1 year, however Yahweh Shem Yahushua deems fit. But if it's according to righteousness, it's going to be according to the Most High's time, right? All things, like the Lord said in Romans, let me get this in Romans chapter 8 real quick. Right, let's go to Romans chapter 8. This is the book of Romans, chapter 8 and 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High, to them who are the called according to his purpose. So if you do things in righteousness, your courtship is going to work out the good. It's going to work out to your benefit, and things are going to prosper well in your hands. But if your courtship is according to wickedness, it's going to fall apart. And and if you get married and your courtship is rooted in just sex talk, sexting, money, greed, lust, folly, vanity, your marriage is going to be terrible. It's going to be horrible. And it may not be the first week terrible. You may have that first month, you cool. But in process of time, that iron is going to rust. And all hell is going to break loose, man. And you're going to be trying to get counsel. And brothers already told you what to do, what not to do. So this is a list of things that we put together through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. One of the first red flags when a man, like I said, we're dealing with a man courting a woman first. Then we're going to deal with a woman courting a man. One of the first red flags for a man to avoid when you're courting a sister is that she only want, and like I said, I'm going to be transparent, authentic, and I'm going to just call it what it is. She only wants to talk about sex and lewd behavior. That is a red flag. I'm going to read that again. A red flag is a woman that you're courting. She only wants to talk about sex and lewd behavior. Now, this applies to men too, but right now we're talking about women. I'm going to read it one more time for you brothers that's courting a woman. You sit there, if you courting a sister right now, you analyze your courtship and you sit there and think about it and be real about the situation. She only wants to talk about sex and lewd. You may not know what the word lewd is. I'm going to pull up the word lewd, the definition, right? My dictionary. I just pull it up on my, okay, we got the dictionary right. I'm going to pull up the word lewd and lewd behavior. So let me get this definition real quick for lewd, right? Let's pull up the definition of lewd because that's not a word that's commonly used in our vernacular. All right, let's see. Okay, they don't have it in this one. Oh, lewd. Yeah, they do. Okay, lewd. An adjective means preoccupied with sex, lustful, lewdly, lewdness. That's what lewdness is. You're preoccupied with sex and you're lustful, meaning you're full of lust, right? Let me get the brother on here.
Shalom, King.
Shalom, King. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Come. So I'm going to get this precept. If all she wants to talk about is, I want to choose my words in moderation, but I also want to be, authentic. If she just wants to talk about Rod, then brother, don't give into that. Don't feed into that. Because Jake, you'll feed into that, man. You might have to put the kids to bed tonight for this lesson. Because we're just going to call it what it is. You may have to put the kids in the other room, right? And tell them to read about Genesis and Noah and the ark. Because we're going to call it what it is, man. If she just wants to talk about lewd behavior and Rod and secret parts and how good her secret parts are and what they can do for you. And, if that's all she wants to talk about, brother, you need to sit there and you can't get excited and say, oh, well, let me tell you. Brother, you got to sit there and rebuke that, man. That's a red flag. All right, if you want to get in there, you can get in there. But I want to get this precept real quick.
I got one after you.
I want to get this precept. Right? Let's go to the book of Colossians. Right? That's one of the first red flags. Colossians, the 3rd chapter. Right? Let's go to Colossians chapter 3. Because a lot of brothers, you don't want to admit that that's what you're dealing with. That's all she's talking about, and you give into it, and that's what you're talking about. Well, what would you do if I was there? Right? Well, so and so and so and so. And you just freaking off, man. Right? Colossians. Let's go to the book of Colossians. Right? Chapter 3 and verse. I'm going to start at 5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth: fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, evil concupiscence, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. What is concupiscence? Let's pull up. I'm gonna pull up the definition of concupiscence. Let me pull this up real quick. Okay, concupiscence. Strong sexual desire, lust. So it's really, let's see, lewdness, the hots, raunchiness, the horn, wantonness, libido, lust. These are all synonyms. So when you come into this truth, you have to get rid of that demon, that spirit. You can't come into this truth and come in with that lewd, vulgar, and vile type of nature and behavior. The woman that you're courting should present herself as a daughter of Zion, a modest, shamefaced woman. And if that's the woman that you want, everybody, I want a Proverbs 31 woman. Where's the Proverbs 31 woman? I can't find a Ruby. I can't find her. Well, brother, you know, now we don't know we all got work we got to get do, but if that's all she's talking about, she don't know where no book of the Bible is. Now it's time to go to Genesis. I'm going to show you some Genesis later. Come on, let's hurry up and go through this. And she's rushing to go through Genesis, man. You going over Genesis, you might be on FaceTime, or you might be a person that she showing you her chest, and you know, she get up, she put her proper camera, get up, she got short shorts on, and she walking to go get a couple of damn so-and-so and come back, and just lewd behavior, man. You have to watch out for that. You can't say, wow, why don't you go get up and get that again? What was that over there? Because Jake, you'll do it, man. You got to arrive before I go on the rant.
Hey, man. You got to watch out for these red flags like the brother going into, man. Right? This the book of Revelation. You pull Revelation 2 and 20? Okay, come. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 20. It says, notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants. So you may have a woman, she may call herself a prophetess. Now that doesn't mean that she's acting like she's Isaiah or Jeremiah. Meaning she may come in the light to act like she could teach and show you things, like she's virtuous, like she's righteous, like she's on fire. But you suffer those things, man. It says, and to teach and to seduce my servants. You get seduced spiritually, you get seduced physically. Hey, your mind gets seduced with plagues. Hey, this truth is serious, man. You're under attack 24/7. When you wake up in the morning and get out the bed, you're under attack, man. Not only from these demonic nations, Esau, right, Moab, Ammon, and your own family may turn against you, right? And how much more the person that you're courting? You have to try to spirit out, because they could be seducing you for their own sexual lust. It says to commit fornication and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. I gave her place, right, to repent of her fornication, and she repented not. Behold, I will cast her into a bed, and them that commit adultery with her into a great tribulation, except they repent of their deeds. So the Most High saying, look, she got a bed, man. And what do you do on the bed? You lay down. You get intimate. Hey, women will seduce you, man. Don't think it's just men. Right? That's the notion of the world, that it's only just men that'll seduce you, man. You got women that are chewing on gum. They start wrapping that damn pink thing around their finger. They start batting their eyes, and their eyelashes are as big as the damn sun. They'll look up, look down, right? Then they'll put their eyes down. And women are very sneaky, man. Men are just bold with it, right? They'll just pull up to you, right? Let me get that for you. Let me open the door for you, right? They're just real bold, man. But women are real subtle, real sneaky. They'll drop something and pick it up. They'll seduce you, man, right? And the Lord said, let me get this quick precept. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 26, and I'm going to start at verse 12. I'm going to start at verse 11. It says, watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler. So one of the key things you have to witness and note of a woman is if she's talking too much. She knows all the brothers. She's all over the place. she's going off. Right? Everybody know your girl. Everybody know the woman you court. Or everybody has known it. It says she opened her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he had found a fountain and drank of every water near her. When she'll talk to everybody, man. She'll lay down with everybody. She'll get to know everybody. You don't want a woman like that, man. Every brother want a woman don't nobody know of, man. Don't nobody know it. Don't nobody want a popular woman. This isn't the world. In the world, you want the cheerleader. Everybody, she come down the hall, she banging the pom-poms when he's in high school. Everybody looking up to her. Damn, you know her, man. Yeah, I was trying to talk to her last week. But don't nobody want, you understand, that quiet sister that's in the back with the glasses on, man. She don't talk to nobody. She mind her business. And that's the type of sister you want. It says, a fountain and drinketh of every water near her. By every head she will sit down and open her quiver against every arrow, man. And we know what that is, man. She'll open her legs up to the whole entire world. So you have to watch out for these signs of these women. And a lot of women may just want to talk to you for status and who you are, what you know. The same way a man may want to talk to you physically, right? For what? For your looks, your hair wrap, your hair, your skin tone, right? These small, carnal, wicked things we have to watch out for. You got it, King.
Con. And I want to get this precept to add to that. Right, this Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 6. It reads, I'm going to start at 5. I'm going to start at 4. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman. So before you start courting a woman, these are the women you need to know. These are the first two women every brother should get to know. Wisdom and understanding. The Most High said, again, Proverbs 7 and 4, say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words. So those women are going to hold you down. Wisdom and understanding is going to give you enough discretion to avoid false philosophies, doctrines, America being that great whore, but also a strange woman, meaning a woman that's not in its truth. A woman that's just in this thing for God knows what, which flatters you with her words. Shalom, Ak, Yahweh Bashmi Awashai Shamar Atha, Malak. You are a mighty man of the Lord. I love the way you swing your sword out there in the highways and byways. You keep swinging that sword, man. Dude, that thing is crazy. You got mighty, mighty breakdowns. Ak. Right? She's speaking all of the Hebrew to you. Tawab our car. Can you break this down for me? She's asked you to break down Proverbs, the 5th chapter, man. What does this mean? Let her breast satisfy thee at all times. I don't quite get what that means. Be always ravished in her love. I don't get it. Ak, what does that mean? Let her breast satisfy thee. I'm stumped. Well, sis, let me show you, sis. Yeah, think about it, and the brothers start getting excited, man. Wisdom and understanding lets you know, hold on, what the hell? Why do you want to know what that scripture means at 2 a.m, man? You know? And that's the only breakdown you want to know. You're always confounded about that one. Let me read on. Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 6. For at the window of the house I looked through my casement, and beheld among the simple ones. I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding. So when you season in this thing, you can discern a young man void of understanding. Well, look, brother, you shouldn't be dealing with that system, man. You could be young in the spirit. You could be an old man and still be young. Even Job said, they that were younger than I. In Job chapter 30, when Esau is older than Jacob. So you can be young in the spirit. Because great men are not always wise. So Solomon discerned a young man, void of understanding. He could just recognize his spirit, man. Reading on. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but it reads, passing through the street near her corner, he went the way to her house. Because a sister might say, can you come over and can you help me break down the Song of Solomon chapter 2 and 1? His fruit was sweet to my taste. Which one does that mean? I sat down under his shadow, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. Does that link up with Proverbs chapter 5? So now she said, come over and break it down for me. So you put your seatbelt on, right? And you just step on the damn gas, man. She lives in Orlando. You live in Brooklyn. And you drive all the way from Brooklyn to Orlando to break the scripture down to her, man. Let me read on. I'm going to read 3 more. In the twilight, in the evening, and the black and dark night. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot and subtile of heart. And that's all I'm going to rest right there, because the whole chapter is mean. That's a mean chapter. We know on a deeper level when it's going into the great whore, America, the philosophies, but it's speaking also carnally. The natural man who is victim to the seduction, like the brother was saying. This is seduction 101. There met him a woman with the attire of a harlot. You might have a woman, all she want to do is talk about lewd nastiness, and she always got her cleavage out. Y'all gonna her cleavage always out, and she got those short shorts on, or she got a dress on, but it's real tight. You know, this is just what I don't have no other dresses. I'm looking for dresses. Can you help me find some? Right? What do you think about this? This is my tattoo I had in the world. Should I get it removed? And she turns over and show you her tattoo, man. What do you think about this one? I was young when I had it. I think it's off. What do you think? Jake said, I mean, we do fall short, right? Is that a spider or a crab? And Jake sitting up there trying to discern right there back tattoo, man. You have to have discernment in this truth. And rebuke. Don't be afraid. One more point. Don't be afraid to rebuke a sister, man. Hey, look, our sister, you going off. We're supposed to be in this truth. I don't want to see God knows what, man. And you shouldn't want to show me that. And then you get into the scriptures. Now, if she take the rebuke, that's well. But if she start freaking off against the rebuke, then you know that's that red flag. Avoid that, sister. You got it, King.
Come. Let me get this in Isaiah chapter 3 and verse number 16. Right? It says, moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes. And that's what the sisters do, man. They walk like they all of that. They have fashion shows and damn long garments and head wraps like Cat in the Hat and all type of folly and madness, man. Everybody trying to outdo one another. It says, and stretch forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and menacing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet, man. Right? So, I mean, jewelry wasn't nothing new, man. That's not a new thing in Babylon. They had jewelry in the ancient world. And these things, when women deck themselves up, they try to allure you, man. My brother, he may be get a so-called haircut, he may wear a hat, may get a new leech, a new garment, put some frankincense, some myrrh on, whatever the case may be. But the women, they put the jewelry on, perfume, right? And a simple-minded man, he's going to get lured away by that, man. And women get off on that. A lot of women get off. You'll see women take the most outrageous pictures and then saying that they're what they call it, a bio, no DMs. I'm waiting for my Lord. Or they'll type the most controversy stuff on the internet, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and say, don't, no men respond.
Right.
Like, just geeking for attention, man.
Right.
And they just lusting for attention. Good.
Or take a lewd picture and say might delete later. I don't know. What do you think?
Exactly. It says, therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. Right? So the Lord said that it wasn't just one woman. It wasn't just 5 of them. I mean, all of the daughters of Zion, at one point, they were going off, man. Walking real haughty, wantonness. That spirit is going to hop on the next man. Because whether you know it or not, sisters, when you reveal yourself, even a righteous man, he will have to refrain himself from his appetites. You're putting things out there. You're putting a spirit in the atmosphere. Like the Lord said, travel not with a bold fellow, man. You can't be traveling around with these wicked sisters. Lord says, sit not in the midst of women, paraphrasing greatly. Why? Because they'll seduce you. You'll start cracking jokes. You'll start acting like the big man. Yeah, just got off work, man. They gave me another raise. Ain't nobody even ask you about your job. You just trying to big yourself up. Yeah, you still reading Matthew? You just let me know if you need any breakdowns. Start puffing yourself up around women and start walking a different way. And, they start giggling and all hell start breaking loose. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 18 and verse number 30. It says, go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thine appetites, man. And your appetites could be anything. It could be, Ephraim. It could be, your appetites could range, man. That's spiritual and physical, but much more spiritual. You have to understand, whatever your flesh is going to yearn for, you have to refrain yourself from that, man. Hey, the Lord may put you in a situation where, hey, man, it's you in the fire. You got to magnify the name of the Lord. It says, please her, Salakia, if thou givest that soul the desires that please her, she will make thee a laughing stock, right, to thine enemies and a magling thee. So the Lord said, if you give yourself over to these wicked desires and lusts, the Lord said he's going to make you a laughing stock, man. What if that woman, you working out late, she asks you, could you help her with some copies? Right, next thing you know, you get lured away in that dark room. You're supposed to get off at 6, man, but you're there at 8:30 at night. You get lured in that dark room, and out of nowhere, right there, the damn thing go down, and the blinds go up, the lights come on, and everybody witnessing, and you see pictures being taken, and now you're all over the office and the internet, man. These things happen. You got it.
Yeah, that's off, man. That's off. And the Most High will expose you, man. If anybody's going to bring you to light, it's going to be Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right? This is Sirach chapter 7 and verse 26. Hast thou a wife after thy mind? Forsake her not, but give not thyself over to a light woman. And a light woman is pretty much an airhead, a woman whose mind isn't right. She's just in this thing to just, I don't even want to use that example, right? But she's just in this thing for just pleasure. She doesn't want to learn, and that kind of leads to one of the next things is a woman that don't want to learn. She don't want to learn the scriptures. She just want to talk about folly and vanity all day. You say, look, I want to go. We're gonna go over, the book of Ezekiel, the first chapter. How we gotta go over Ezekiel? If that's what she say, then that's a red flag. It's not even I read Ezekiel already. You mind if we kind of go into the book of Genesis? I had a question about that. That's a little bit more tolerable and understandable. But why we got to go over Ezekiel? Why are you always reading that Bible? What if it's not even the truth? At the end of the day, how do we really know that this is the word of life? And she start kind of scoffing a little bit. A lot of brothers ignore those little scoffs. I'm a teacher. I'm going to get it built up. I'm going to turn her around. I'm not saying it's impossible, but brother, that's a red flag right there. Those little scoffs. What makes you really a prophet? Right? You say you're a servant of the Lord. Isn't everybody a servant of the Lord? And you gotta sit there and understand that this is a red flag, that this woman really don't believe in this truth, brother. She might be in this thing because her cousin in this thing. She might be in this thing because friends look fashionable. She might be in this thing because, it's free food, man. Or she found out that a man can't leave her. A lot of women find out, the Hebrews are like, man, they can't put away their woman. Oh, yeah? I'm going to be somebody to them. And they pretend to be somebody and they jam up these brothers. They call it, you trap a brother up. You start becoming a demon in the house, man. Letting yourself go. You used to take care, now you just letting yourself go. You can't leave me, remember that. And that's the only scripture you know. You can't put away your wife. Eating up all of the food. You got kids. He didn't know you had kids. You bringing in your kids. 17-year-old Rel. 13-year-old Brian. And they just in the damn house now, man. Because brother, you didn't avoid you wasn't circumspect.
They came back from basketball camp.
Yeah, they finally came back. Right? The whole courtship was basketball camp. You married the sister. Now Rel and Bryant are in and out the house, man. And you're trying to figure out, I didn't know you had kids. Well, brother, you didn't ignore the signs. She needs somebody to take care of her kids. Her so-called baby's father ain't really around no more. He kind of locked up, and she kind of needs somebody to kind of hold it down. And she saw you on Facebook. She hit you with the shalom. You ignored all of the red flags, and now Bryant gets your inheritance, right? And now you're taking care of Rel. And Rel want to fight you. He's not even like respectful. He kind of moving you out your house, man. Kind of bumping you, kind of sizing you up. And one quick point, there was this video. I don't know if you saw it, right? This woman was arguing with her husband, so-called, and she had her son in the house. Now, her son was like 30. I don't know if you saw that. He was trying to put the son out. And she said, no, he not going nowhere. You need to leave.
I ain't see that one.
Yeah, she told him, look, you need to leave. My son not going nowhere. I love my son. So he kind of got himself jammed up in that thing. But don't give yourself over to a light woman. You got it, King.
Calm. Right, let me pull this real fast. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 23, and verse number 2. Right, it says, who will set scourges over my thoughts and the discipline of wisdom over mine heart, that they spare me not for mine ignorance, and it pass not by my sins. Lest mine ignorance increase, and my sins abound to my destruction. See, your sins could start to abound until your destruction, man, by not taking heed to simple signs. If you're going up a hill and it says put on brakes when you're going down and you're not taking heed to the signs and you start to go downhill, all hell could break loose, man. Your engine can stop working, your brakes, right? It's ice at the end of that thing. You didn't take heed to the warnings, man. You wasn't foreseeing evil. It says, and I fall by mine adversaries and my enemy rejoice over me. Because a woman will rejoice over you. I finally got it. But you got so-called basketball wives, they have turn up what they call it, celebrations after they get married. Well, you finally got them, sister. You got them. Right? She been damn stalking them for 3 seasons, and she finally got a ring. It says, who hope is far from thy mercy. O Lord, Father and God of my life, give me not a proud look, but turn away from thy servant always a haughty mind. Turn away from me vain hopes. It's a vain hope, brother, to think you want to court all of these women at the same time and marry them all at the same time. You rented out some type of suite for the weekend. I'm going to get married Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I don't care. That's off, man. Vain hopes is just off. Certain sisters have vain hopes, man. Well, maybe he'll change. He hit me, but maybe he's not like that. Maybe if we fast again, he won't do it. Then after you fast again, you got another black guy. Well maybe. She just got a vain hope, man. Well, it's just to take heed to the signs. It says, turn away from me vain hopes and concupiscence, and thou shalt hold him up that is desirous always to serve you. So the Lord won't let you go, man. The Lord's not going to put you in a situation to overthrow you. But you have to apply the precepts. You're not applying the precepts, you're going to be overthrown. And what overthrows you is your lust and your flesh. Your flesh wanting to do things is going to overthrow the spirit, man. You got it.
And that's why the Most High said, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain. Let me get that real quick in Proverbs 31. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Because it's not all about what this sister look like. It's not all about beauty. It's not all about how many likes she has and every brother trying to get this sister in the truth. But I'm trying to get her too. You and this woman inbox and messages, and then you and 1,000 women, man. You know, Proverbs chapter 31 and verse Slacky, where I'm at. Slacky, Proverbs chapter 31 and 30. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. And that's the woman you want, right? Looks come and go. People get fat, they grow old, they get chubby, they grow wrinkles, they get, they looks come and go. Not saying you can't be a beautiful old woman or elder woman, but looks come and go. Body shape comes and goes. But the fear of the Lord, that's permanent, man. Everything else is temporary. You know, you're not going to give up the ghost with the same looks you had when you was 23, 24, 25. But you can give up the ghost with the same fear of the Lord that you had, man. That's why favor is deceitful, man. You have beautiful women that are wicked. They're wicked. When and ever did beauty equate to righteousness? It don't, man. Now, I'm going to get this real quick in Judith chapter 11 and verse 20. Right? Judith 11 and 20. See, Judith was different because Judith had both. She was beautiful and she was righteous. Right? Then her words pleased Oliphern's and all his servants, and they marveled at her wisdom. So brothers should be looking for, when you court a sister, does she have wisdom? Are you marveling at her wisdom? Wow, this sister really on fire. She really reads, man. She studied. She know this. She know that. She learning how to sew. She know how to cook. You know, she know how to do this. She's good with children. I see her taking care of her. Whatever. You know, these are things, green flags, essentially. Those are things that you want to look out for. But a sister that say, I hate kids, I just hate children. They just get on my nerves. You don't want no woman like that, man. Oh, I can't stand this little badass. Get away from me. I hate kids. Why would you want a woman that hates children, man? I hate sewing. Hate putting my hand to the plow. If I want to get my hands dirty. The spindle and the staff, who does that anymore? That's so old. I do Uber Eats, right? And DoorDash, right? You don't want a woman that just do Uber Eats and DoorDash, man. Right? So they marveled at Judith's her wisdom. Let me read on in Judith chapter 11 and verse 20. There is not such a woman from one end of the earth to the other, both for a beauty of face and wisdom of words. So those are beautiful traits that this sister had, man. She had beauty of face and she had wisdom of words. You can't just be concerned about beauty of face, man. Yeah, I got this sister, man. What about the wisdom of her words, brother? Right? When you're down, what does she tell you, man? You might be courting a sister. You might have a bad day at work, or wherever, man, in life, man. Your car break down, or you're sick, or something happened to you, your folks. And what is this sister saying to you, man? Get over it. Right? The Lord give, the Lord taketh away. Couldn't have been me. That's crazy. Right? She just said, that's crazy to everything. They say, I'm hungry. Right? I'm hungry. Cash app. Right? She just want you to cash app her, man. Because she just want to eat damn hot wings all day, man. Hot wings and damn fries, man. And do DoorDash. She don't want to read. She don't want to study. She just want to talk about lewdness. She hate kids. She say she don't work. Hey, those are red flags, man. You got it, King.
And another red flag you got to also understand is the behavior, right? But this 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 13. Now we know this is going into widows and things, but nevertheless, it says, and withal they learn to be idle. So like the brother going into, they never want to read. They're just learning to be idle, man. And idleness is going to teach you much evil. You're checking in to your favorite TV shows. You binge watching. You got to do your hair. Your husband trying to, it's like the brother trying to read with you, but you're doing your hair. And it's taking 3, 4, 5 hours. You can't pray. You can't read, right? You're being idle. You're doing God knows what, man. You have no time to go over the scriptures. To be idle is off, man. And women got to take advantage if they have a righteous brother that can lead them and talk to them according to the Bible and the scriptures, man. It says wandering about from house to house. So if this woman is never home, she's always at her cousin's house, and she's always at her grandmother's house. Right. That woman's up to something. You gotta watch a woman that just say she's at her family house all the time. She's at her uncle's house Tuesday. She at her grandfather's house Wednesday. She at her damn grandmother's house Saturday, man. What are you doing all over the place? Not that you can't travel and visit your family, but you have to understand it's a reason why you're traveling, and it's a reason why these people aren't in the spirit. Those spirits love each other, man. All birds, all animals resort to their kind, paraphrasing greatly, man, like the Lord said. So if you love wickedness, lewdness, damn folly, vanity, slothfulness, those spirits are going to band together. It says about from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers also, and busybodies. So if this sister's always talking about, did you hear the thing in the new congregation today? Did you hear what happened in the congregation today? Did you hear what the bishop said? Did you hear what the deacon said? Did you see what this sister came in with? She's just murmuring and backbiting and tattletelling, man, and being a busybody. She's all over the place. Says speaking things which they ought not. And a lot of sisters do that, man. They speak things that they ought not to speak, instead of what? Having their mouth be the law of kindness and going into the scriptures. Right? Let me get this quick precept. This history of Susanna, right? I want to get this one quick point. Verse 27. It says, but when the elders had declared their matter, the servants were greatly ashamed, for there was never such a report made of Susanna. Meaning everybody was like, their mouth dropped to the floor, like a cartoon, huh? Because she was so blameless and so innocent. Like if a brother is on fire or a sister on fire, they got accused of robbing a liquor store. You're like, what? No, it can't be. There's never such an accusation made. What if that sister got 19 accusations laid against her? She's slothful. Yeah, I heard that before. You heard that before? Yeah, it may be true. I don't know. You want a sister that has a blameless name. Because Susanna, she never had any accusations laid against her, man. And that's mighty when you think about it. All your life, nobody's laying anything lewd against your name, man. That just goes to show you how righteous this woman was. You got it.
Come. Yeah, and that's Slacky. I don't know if that's an echo. Slacky, that's a excellent point, because you want a sister like the brother was going into earlier, that's shamefaced. You know, you want a modest sister. You don't want a sister that's just that displays herself for all men. Now, you have a lot of women that court multiple men at one time. They're courting 7 guys from 7 other men in 7 different camps. You're courting a brother from Watchmen, then you're courting a brother from ISUPK, you're courting a brother from Sakari, you're courting a brother from IUIC, you're courting a brother and damn Great Millstone, and you're courting a brother in Sons of Thunder, and you're courting a brother in HOI, and you're just courting all of these men at one time. I'm talking about I got options. Right? And you just weighing your options out. When you're not talking to one, he asks what you doing, and then she really courting this guy, man. Just trying to see who's the man of the Lord. And brothers have to hold yourself to a high standard. A lot of brothers, you lowball yourself, man. You forget that the Most High made you a king on the earth. You're a king and a priest on the earth. Last time I checked, the Most High said a man shall be more precious than fine gold in Isaiah 13:12. And a lot of brothers, you forget that, man. You get simple and give your strength over to any woman. And any woman that's interested or shows interest in you, you are leaping for God knows how much joy, man. And there's nothing wrong with being content that a woman is interested in you, but don't abase yourself and ignore these red flags, brothers, simply because it's a woman in the truth. Woman in the truth are off. That's not the only sister in the truth, brother. You know, you don't have to sit there and abase yourself and give your strength over to a wicked woman, man. The Most High could send a Satan to you to see how she could be out here to sift you out, man. A messenger of Satan to buffet you. You know, let me get this real quick. Right? You gotta understand that, man. I want to go to Esther real quick. Right? I like going to this account when it comes. Now, this, although he's the king of the Persians, you got to think about how these kings operated back then, man. Look at how these kings operated. This is the book of Esther. It's like Esther chapter 2 and verse 12. Now when every maid's turn was come to go in to King Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months, according to the manner of the women, for so were the days of their purifications accomplished, to wit, 6 months with oil of myrrh, and 6 months with sweet odors, and with other things for the purifying of the woman. Then thus came every maiden unto the king, whatsoever she desired was given her, to go with her out of the house of the women unto the king's house. So the king, he didn't just give himself to any woman. He had these women purify themselves for 6 months and then 6 more months, because he said, I'm a king. I'm the what do they say? They say all women are the prize. He said, I'm the king of the empire, man. You're literally a king on the earth, and that's not in word. That's in your bloodline, right? That's in your so-called DNA, man. You're directly related to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Moses, Peter, all of these righteous men. You're a king and a priest. Brother, conduct yourself like that, man. Think like that. Kings don't just give themselves over to anybody. This is not the world. Kings take their time when it comes to dealing with a woman. They understand the value that they have, man. They understand what they bring to the table. They understand the gifts that the Most High can impart unto them for the uplifting of an entire nation, man. They understand that these men, that they're set up to rule over the earth. 10 cities, 5 cities. These women know that, man. They know how just to get there, these women know how valuable a man of the Lord is. A righteous woman does. A righteous woman knows how valuable a man of the Lord is. She knows how valuable you are more than you know about your damn self, man. Therefore, a lot of men in the truth, they ignore these flags. They abase themselves to hell. And he could be as powerful as that brother is. Now he's with a light-headed, simple woman because he forgot that he was an Israelite, man. Not in word, but in bloodline and in deed, man. The Most High said, as a man, one more point in Proverbs 23:7, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. So, brothers, when you courting a sister, remember who you are. Remember how valuable you are, man. Not saying man is anything, but when it comes to women and children in the nation, a man, he's the stone. He's the foundation. And don't forget that, man. Don't abase yourself for some whore, man. Some fast sister. Don't just give your strength over to these women, man. You got it, King.
Khan, that's an excellent point. Brothers most definitely forget that. The Most High chose you not only to be a man of the Lord, but to help lead the nation, man. Without the men, the nation can't be led. The women aren't going to lead the nation. The men have to lead the nation. The Most High has chosen the men to be the prophets, the elders. You understand, the disciples, the leaders, right? The governors, the princes, the kings. You can't forget these things, man. Because once you do, you give yourself over, like the brother was saying, to a light woman, man. You don't want to be going off, man. Right? It's the book of Tobit, chapter 3 and verse 14. It says, thou knowest, Lord, that I am pure from all sin with man, and that I never polluted my name nor the name of my father in the land of my captivity, and I am the only daughter of my father. So this sister, she was on fire, man. And the women in the ancient world, they had glory with their name. They had respect. They had honor, man. Imagine a sister coming up that you courting. Her name's never been polluted. She's never been polluted with man, nor has she wrought folly in her father's house, man. That's a blameless sister. And these sisters do exist, man. I know we live in a captivity, right? Eve is so destroyed. Jake is so destroyed. But it's a righteous sister out there, man. She's waiting for you. Now, if you rush, you jump the huddle because of lust and concupiscence, the Lord is going to give you over, right, to your lust, man. Let me get that real fast. The Lord said he will. Don't think that everything that the Lord give you, right, is damn a blessing for you, man. Oh, I finally got it. No, brother, that could be for your downfall, man. It's the book. All right, let me get this quick precept. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 106 and verse 13. It says, they soon forgot his works. So in the wilderness, we forgot the Lord, man. We start going off for our lusts. The Lord said they soon forgot his works. They waited not for his counsel. Meaning they did what they wanted to do immediately, man. You may get a feeling and you just go ahead and take that feeling. You don't wait for the Lord's counsel. It says, but lusted exceedingly in the wilderness and tempted God in the desert. And he gave them their request. Let me read that again. And he gave them their request. So just because you think this sister's out of your league, you think this sister's beautiful and da-da-da-da-da, and well, now she's finally talking to you. She finally responded. Well, brother, that may be for your downfall, man. You don't know how the Lord is looking at that situation. And like the brother was saying earlier, beauty isn't everything. I know every like-minded, wise, prudent brother would rather have a woman of understanding that fears the Most High and his beloved son Yahushua than what the world would deem beautiful, and she's going off, being a snare and a trap to your soul, man. It's not going to help you. You have to look at the spirit. Your spirit is the most important thing, man, not the flesh. Because once you sit up there and you get in a car accident, you're in a wheelchair, she's going to leave you. Once you sit up there and get cancer or God knows what, fall into the snares of the devil, right? And all hell breaks loose, who's going to be there for you, man? A sister that loves you. It says, and he gave them their request, but sent leanness into their souls, man. So the Lord will put all type of spirits in your soul and trouble you and do all type of overthrowing to you if you don't wait for his direction. And by lusting, it's going to overthrow you, man. You continue us on with that spirit, and the Most High is going to give you your chief desire. You got it.
And I want to get another classic. This verse, Ezra chapter 4 and 26. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for a woman and become servants for their sakes. So a lot of brothers, you sending for a sister, man. You're sending sex pictures because she's sending sex pictures to you. She's sending naked this and cleavage this and this, that. And now she say, well, let me see. And you sending this. And now y'all talking about God knows what. Brother, you ran out of your wits. You're supposed to hold it down. That's off. No, we're not doing that. Isn't that how Adam fell, following the woman? Isn't that how Samson fell? Didn't David fall like that? The Most High said many men have fallen like that. Adam, David, and Samson, do you think those are the only women that have been damn conquered in the flesh by a woman? No, what happens? It's happening right now. As we speak, there is a man that is sinning for a woman, robbing the bank, damn, robbing his brother, doing God knows what for a woman. You can't be sinning for a woman, man. You can't sin for anything. But a lot of brothers, they run out of their wits, meaning all of the wisdom of the Most High left them. And now they're just blindly just walking in a path of lust and darkness. It reads, many also have perished. Many men have perished, meaning dead. There are men dead right now for chasing a woman. Many have also perished, have erred, and sinned for a woman. You see that? So don't let that be you. Don't be that brother that sins for a woman. Don't ignore the red flags. Like you said, she just want to talk about lewdness. What was another one you brought out, right? She her behavior.
Yep. Tired of telling.
Yeah, gossip, busybody. If she hate children, you know, she bucks up against the scriptures. You know, we you know, there's a lot, man. Salakia. Oh, I had one on here. This is simple, but a lot of brothers, man. If you've never seen this sister before, right? You ask, just you know, where's your? I see you on social media. You have no pictures, no nothing. Well, I don't show myself. I don't really like to show myself. It's not really me, right? It's just a blank. You know that Instagram default picture. It's all gray, with just like a damn head, like a little sticky person, man, stick figure person, right? No post. One follower following one person that ain't you, right? And you add, you know, because it's not a sin to see a person. You want to know what they look like, right? Not, I don't know about this. I want to show you at least what I look like. Then a year go by. I don't know. I don't really know about this. You've never ever, a year and a half went by. You've never seen his sister. It's not really me. Why don't you just come out here? Brother, if you go out there, it's over. I'm going to go out there. Finally, man, it's been a year and a half. I've been courting this sister. I ain't never seen her. But I'm in love. We talk on the phone all the time. Right? Or sometimes. She never FaceTime though, but I understand. I get it. You don't want to FaceTime. I get it. And then you fly out there, brother, and you don't come back, man. You buy a one-way ticket to hell, man. You gotta have some type of understanding. If you never seen this sister, that's a red flag, man. It could be somebody else. It could be 3 other people. It could be a dude. Hey, this one more account, man. It's not funny, but it's sad. And a Coppin State is a school in Baltimore, right? They are the basketball team. The assistant coach was pretending to be a sister in the school. Keep in mind, this is assistant coach. He a man. He's like 6'5". He's catfishing a player on the team. Talking about you gotta I'm in love with you, so and so, and the coach. I mean, the player think he's talking to a woman, but he's talking to his assistant coach. So now the assistant coach. This is a real story. The assistant coach confronts the player and says, "Yes, I'm being catfished by that same woman catfishing you, and she told me that me and you need to do something together." Some lewd behavior together, and then she'll reveal who she is. So now the player, he says, okay, look, anything but that, right? Anything, because the player was sending lewd pictures and all of that. So he didn't want that to get out. So the assistant coach said, look, she want us to do this. We don't want our pictures to get out. Do you? He's like, no, I don't. So the assistant coach made him do things with him. And then he said, look, I was just playing. There is no woman. And then that player got suspended, man. And I think he lost his scholarship and his tuition. So you got to be careful with stuff like that, man. There's a lot of confusion and madness behind that. But you got it, King.
Calm. And that just goes into being simple, man. You got to be wise. Put your spirit in and just give it all out. I mean, hey, man, it's a song. It's a you keep using me until you don't use me up, man.
Bill Withers,
man.
Use me.
Just getting used.
Yeah.
Right? It's the book of Genesis, chapter 3, and verse number 9. It says, and the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. And you'd be ashamed when you go off, man. Anybody that's went off willingly or you just fell into the snare of the devil, it feels bad, man. You can't even lift up your head, man. Somebody like, did you do this? Oh, man. Like Adam feels shameful, man. He said he had to hide himself. And he said, who told thee that thou was naked? Who told you was in sin? Who told you was going off? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to me with me, she gave me of the tree and I did eat. Right? So we blaming the woman, man. Like, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was the woman. Well, brother, we got to be strong as men to not let these women allure us into sin, man. Because they're going to do it with a soft speech, a soft tongue, a giggle, right? They're going to do it with a nice little sigh. What's wrong? What's wrong? You whip out a handkerchief. Oh, nothing. She just keeps sighing. She started pouting, right? Little cheeks start to get, right, a little red. And then you just start laying out a carpet, man, and just start becoming a chef, man. What do you want? What else can I do? What can I feed you? What can I do? Now you just on a rope, man. It said, and the man said, the woman whom thou gavest me, right, to me, with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. So you got to keep in mind that it's not that women are just wicked as hell, man. You got a lot of righteous sisters, but the woman is the weaker vessel. We're not up here to beat on the sisters. There are a lot of mighty sisters. We're going into them. But you have to understand, too, as being a man, that women are going to fall short from a man in his discernment, in his understanding, in his wisdom, in his direction. Not that they don't have all of these things, but the Most High has put it in our spirits to excel, man. You're not going to come home and ask your child how you should spend the rest of the money in the bank account, man. Because he's going to want to spend it on toys, cinnamon buns and pretzels, and all manner of folly and foolishness and Game Boys, man. You don't consult that matter with him. As a man, you got to have the discernment and understanding, okay, this is off. I can't be doing this. I'm getting led away captive by the spiritual demon Satan. You got it.
Con. And I want to get this in Judges, the 16th chapter. Right? This Judges chapter 16 and verse 15. This Delilah talking to Samson. And she said unto him, how canst thou say I love thee when thine heart is not with me? So she tried to manipulate him. How are you saying you love me and your heart is not with me? She wanted him to give over his strength. Not necessarily his integrity and morals, but more so how he became exceedingly mighty. And his strength came from the vow of him being a Nazarite that Yahweh Shemashah made with him in the womb through his mother. Now, she manipulated him, and he got weak. He got manipulated by this heathen woman. And she tried to make him feel bad about not giving his strength over to him. Huh? Oh, you don't love me? You don't want to cash at me $150? You don't really love me. I have all that I can offer. I just need $150. You've been on this system for 2 days. Just give me I need 300. Right? And then you asked her for what? Well, so and so. I don't really want to talk about it. I'm embarrassed. Okay, sis. Okay, here's $350. And brother, you gotta pay rent, man. You got rent due in 5 days. You don't know this woman. You're giving her $350 to $400 in 2 days. But I'm in love. Brother, no, you're not, man. You're not in love, man. Well, you don't know me. Because I'm the type of man. Well, brother, if you're the type of man that's in love with a sister in 2 days, then I don't know what that is, man. And you done gave over all your rent and all of your substance to another woman. It could be financially. It could be your integrity. It could be that you've never ate. You never drank wine. Right? You said when I'm in this truth, or you can say, look, I don't watch TV. You got brothers that don't watch TV, and you said I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna entertain that folly. I'm not gonna drink wine, whatever, until the day of the Lord. You made that oath to Yahweh Shemashah, man. And a woman come in, you don't want to watch this with me? It's my favorite show. Yeah, I know you said you don't watch TV, but can you do it for me? Can you do it for me just this one time, please? Just vexing you. Okay, what is this show about? And now you gave your strength over to that woman, man. So when you courting a sister, you want to have a level of wisdom and be cognizant of particular tactics and manipulation that lead you into sin. Do not give your strength over to a woman, man. Don't give your power, integrity, anything over to a woman. Again, like the brother said, you have righteous women. If you're getting cut by this, then you're probably not one of those righteous women. You're getting all upset and you're bent out of shape, right? And you're just all ornery right now. Then maybe you're not one of the righteous sisters, because the righteous sisters understand exactly what we're talking about, because they teach the other sisters not to be like what we're talking about, man. You know, that's Titus chapter 2 and 3 on down. They're completely aware of what we're bringing out because they have seen it. You got sisters that counsel sisters, that teach sisters how to be righteous and virtuous. So Samson, I'm going to show you what Samson did. I'm going to read on in Judges chapter 16 and 15. And she said unto him, How canst thou say I love thee when thine heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times. And says how did he mock her? Right? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth. And it came to pass, when she pressed him daily with her words, and urged him so that his soul was vexed unto death, that he told her all his heart, and said unto her, there hath not been a razor upon mine head, for I have been a Nazarite unto the Most High from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength shall go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. See that? If you give your strength over, you're going to be like these other men, like an Edomite, like a Moabite, like an Ishmaelite, like a Hamite. A man that gives his strength over to a woman, he's like any other man. He has lost that title. Even though it's by blood, you can't really lose it. But essentially, you're not a prince of the power. You're just a regular Negro, man. Regular Negroes are like any other men. They smoke weed. They get their strength over the woman. They have no prudence. They just into lewdness and madness. But an Israelite man, a king on the earth, he avoids snares and traps, man. And one more point, a woman is also known in adversity, man. That's another sign. You want to know how a woman is? Let her be in adversity or let you be in adversity and see how that situation plays out. You know, you got it, King.
Come on. It's the book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, and verse number 3. It says, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart.
Right.
Your wife could turn away your heart, man, from following the Lord. The sister you courting could turn away your heart from following the Lord, man. Right? Your children could turn away your heart from following the Lord. That's why your heart is one of the most wickedest things, man. Because it's going to beat. It's going to make you feel some type of way. You sorrowful. You anxious. You angry. You sad. You emotional. You don't know what to do. You embarrassed. You angry. You upset. All of these emotions come from your heart, man. And if women are playing you like a banjo, like a guitar, man, like a songstress, just playing you, they're going to hit all and pluck all them right tunes to get you to move how they want you to move. Don't let that woman be, what's his name, Geppetto, or Pinocchio's so-called father, man.
Right.
Pick you up, you got strings on, and just start moving you around. Today I want this. Tomorrow I want that. Next week I want this. And you just sitting up there, right, just getting manipulated and twist and shifted around. And then what's done? You get thrown in the corner somewhere. It says, for it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods. And your woman could turn you to what? Weed, man? Turn you back to your old vomit? To turn you back to another way of thinking, to another book? To turn you into slothfulness? It's cuddle time. It's this time. It's that time. We read last night. Now your heart's getting turned away. It says, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as was the heart of David his father. Because David's heart was perfect unto the Most High. For Solomon went after Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Macam, the abomination of the Amorites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father. So that woman, right, she could have you doing God knows what, man, and turn you out the way of your understanding because you wasn't prudent and you let these things happen through emotions. You have to be sound in judgment. You don't want to turn away or bend that judgment, right, for that wicked woman. You got it.
Con. Yeah, so, you brothers, be aware, man, of these signs when it comes to courting a woman. Another thing, be aware of, she may have been in multiple camps, right? She may have said I was in this camp or that camp or that camp. You want to know what happened, man? Did she get put away for adultery? Why did she leave? Did she just decide to leave because, of her own, for lack of better terms, free will? Did she leave because she was put out? What happened? Yeah, I used to be part of this camp and that camp and that camp. Oh, that's crazy. That's mighty. All right, I'm glad you talked. Well, brother, why? What happened? Oh, well, I don't really want to talk about it. But that sounds like a red flag, man. Or if a sister get caught up in a lie. She says, I don't have no kids. And you hear kids in the background every time. Those my nephews. They always her nephews, man. Brother, those are her kids, man. They say mommy. All you hear is mommy, mommy. And she's telling you those are her nephews. If they get caught up in a lie, one lie, that's a red flag. That's an automatic red flag, man. Well, I mean, we all fall short. Yeah, we do all fall short, brother, but you got to know that this is a spirit that could be detrimental to you, man. You want to evaluate the situation. You want to take a step back, evaluate this person. Hold on now. Something ain't right, man. You know, you want to have that level of discernment, right? I wanted to make that point, but you got it, King.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 21, right? In verse number 7. It says, and Jezebel, his wife, said unto him, doest thou now govern the kingdom of Israel? Arise and eat bread, and let thine heart be merry. So you don't want to have a woman to dictate your happiness. She's telling him to rise up and be happy. Rise up and be strong right now. Well, the brother should have already been strong. He should have already perceived not to let anything get under his skin to begin with, man. You shouldn't let a woman be the joy of your happiness, right? If she's out the spirit, now I'm just out the spirit. I don't know what to do. Now you stop reading. You stop fasting. You stop beseeching the Lord. All because of carnal things, man. It says, so she wrote letters in Ahab's name. And that woman will usurp authority is another red flag, man. He's usurping up all authority. I'm not doing anything unless it goes down this way. But that's off. What scripture is that? You can't be moving in these type of spirit, a demanding spirit. It's not of the Lord, man. It says she wrote letters in Ahab's name and sealed them with his seal and sent the letters unto the elders and unto the nobles that were in his city dwelling with Naboth. And she wrote in the letters saying, proclaim a fast. Who is she to say these things, man? It's like somebody coming to the door as the man of the house home. Forget all of that. What I want you to do is I want you to get in there. I want you to do this and but get on the roof and put it on the bill. Right? He'll pay for it. Just making demands in the household, man. It says, proclaim a fast and set Naboth on high among the people. So you don't want a wicked woman that's going to lead the household. You want a submissive woman that knows how to follow. And not a lot of women know how to follow because they got this preeminent spirit. Want to be right beside you spirit. Don't know how to follow you spirit. The Most High wants the woman to follow the man. Because when all hell breaks loose, that woman is not going to grab a bat, a sword, or whatever else and be side by side fighting with you, man. When the bills start to cave in into the roof, she don't want to be equal then. When all hell starts breaking loose and spirits are on her, she can't break down what she thought she could, she's going to be looking at you. But yet in pride and arrogancy, when it's convenient, you want to proclaim yourself equal or right beside. A woman got to know how to follow, man. They got to know how to be submissive, quiet, loving. All of these things are very important. And if you don't see them, that's a red flag. Because the Lord said evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse. You see this sign, then you see that sign, then you see that sign. Next thing you know, her horns are coming out, man. She's a full-fledged demon because you didn't court her long enough, you didn't prove her long enough, you didn't pray, or you didn't watch out for the signs. Right? A wise man is going to foresee evil and hide it from himself, man. But the foolishness is going to look on. Oh, that was nothing. Oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. Right? Let me get this quick precept. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 4 and 22. It says, accept no persons against thy soul, no matter who it is, man. Don't let this sister that you always wanted from high school overthrow you. Don't let this sister that, whatever the case may be, you finally get that opportunity to overthrow you. Accept no persons against thy soul, and let not the reverence of any man cause thee to fall. And a lot of people, they reverence certain people at a high degree. That's for men and women. You don't want to reverence a man so high as a woman that you overlook the signs that he's doing. That he's telling you to fast and he's not fasting. He's telling you to pray and he doesn't want to pray. He's telling you to be on fire and he don't read, man. He never reads. All he wants to do is his pleasures. So you got to watch out for these things. That's why you got books like Proverbs, Psalms, Sirach, Judith, Tobit, These are very important precepts and books that show you important things that the Most High wants to show us in counsel. Now, I wanted to get this quick precept real fast. In 1 Kings, the women in the ancient world were way more submissive than they are now. Women think submissiveness just means to be quiet. Or when you're upset, let me just leave it alone. This is the book of 1 Kings 1 and verse number 15. And Bathsheba went in unto the king in the chamber, and the king was very old. And Abishai, the Shunammite, ministered unto the king. And Bathsheba bowed and did obeisance. So before she came before her Lord, she didn't just knock on the door. She didn't just say, hey, you was sleeping there? No, she sitting up there when she came into the room. Hey, she bowed and showed obeisance, man. Meaning reverence, respect, honor. You have to learn that the Most High is not setting up the husband to just be a damn girlfriend, man. That's your Lord. That's your king. He's going to lead you to your Yahushua, man, the everlasting life. If you follow that man that's moving in the spirit of Yahushua, that knows the precepts, that's keeping the precepts. So these women, they treated their husbands on a whole different level in the ancient world. Now women think the meaning of submissiveness is just God knows what, man, something small, making dinner. There's a Moabite somewhere in the world that just cooked her husband God knows what, raccoon ear, and put it on a display and kicked up the lazy boy and passed them the remote. That's not submissiveness, man. You got to go beyond these carnal American damn things that they put in the world, man, of submissiveness on TV. And understand how serious women treat what they did. A man's honor is what? His children, going to war, being a prophet, reading, fasting, praying, taking care of leading the nation. What is a woman's honor? The reverence of her husband, taking care of children, cooking, sewing, cleaning. So you can't look at your office and diminish it because you don't highly reverence it, man. The Lord said all the parts of the body are the same. In the book of 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter, paraphrasing. You can't look at the foot and say to the toe this, or to the toe look at the arm and say this. They're all working together. So it's as much as the husband is leading, doing a very great work, so is the wife. You got it, Ken.
Con. Yeah, and watch out for women that say you can't control me. Right? No man can control me. Just giving you things that you might hear. Right? No man can control me. I don't submit to no man. I only submit to the Most High. Man can't tell me nothing. I talk directly to the Lord. My God told me that this scripture is talking about this. These are just things that you want to look out for. Here you are breaking down Genesis and the serpent. You say the serpent is not talking about an actual serpent. It's talking about a man. Well, my God told me. Well, what do you mean your God, man? You can't romanticize the Most High and make him your man as if like the dude you had in the world, man. He's not just your God. Well, my God told me different. My God told me that Genesis, that serpent is really talking about an actual serpent, because serpents in the prehistoric era, when the fossils came out, hey, guess what? You got the Most High didn't tell you that, man. These are just things to look out for. Now, kind of put these little things out there. No man can control me. My God told me this. You can't tell. Basically, I'm my own person. I'm my own person. These are just little things, man. Ooh, I hate kids. I don't have to tell you that. These are just little things that you want to look out for, right? Let me get this precept real quick. Then we're going to get on you men. We're not going to leave. I know a lot of you men, you kind of think you're getting off the hook. You're not getting off the hook, right? We're going to get on you men too. We kind of tell these little things, man. These little things. You ain't my daddy spirit. I'm grown. That's good. Those are good ones, man. Right? I'm grown. You can't tell me what to do. Because let's go to Ephesians, the 5th chapter. Right? Let's go to the classic. Right? The book of Ephesians, chapter 5. Right? Ephesians, chapter 5. Just be mindful of that, man. A sister tell you, it's 11 p.m. Y'all said, shalom. She said she getting some rest. You said, all right, I'm getting some rest. And then you kind of wake up 10 minutes later and she's just active on Instagram, man, and social media. You're trying to figure out. I thought she was going to rest and whatever, and then she's on damn a video call, man. You know, with somebody else, man, that she's courting. She put you to bed at 9 p.m., man, because that's what happened. She tucked you in and put you to bed at 9, and then now she's on FaceTime with this guy at 10. You know, you want to pay attention to things like that, man. Right? Ephesians chapter 5, right? Let me get the classic. Ephesians chapter 5, and I'm going to go to the classic in verse 22. Wives, even though she's not your wife as of yet, but she should aspire, she should be looking to be a wife or have wife attributes. Wife attributes, right? Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Mashiach is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. So a sister has to know that. She has to understand her role in that courtship and understand the dynamics between in the relationships like between the man and the woman, man. Between what the husband's purpose is and what a woman's purpose is. And certain things she say out of her mouth, it could be a slip of the tongue, you know, it could be whatever, but you want to be aware of certain things that she says, man. You know, sometimes when you court somebody and you get into it, they turn into a demon. They start bringing out, they intentionally try to hurt you on purpose. That's why your father left. You're like, hold on, damn. Right? I knew you weren't no man of the Lord. Right here, you got fired from your job, you know, because you said you don't want to work the Sabbath. And now you kind of down low and she, look, I know you ain't no man of the Lord, man. Can't keep no damn job. You ain't never gonna be nothing. And you gotta watch out for stuff like that, man. That's a red flag. The Most High said a woman that won't comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees, man. So you want to be aware. Let me get that real quick. All right, let me get that one quick precept. Like I said, we still gonna get to you men too. You are not getting off the hook, man. Right? Let me get this. So like, yeah. Ecclesiasticus. Bear with me, King. Let me get this precept. You got it though.
Right. And like the brother was going into, yeah, the brothers ain't getting away neither, man. You most definitely gotta have the attributes of our forefathers if you're gonna want a wife and move in the spirit of the Lord.
I got it real quick.
Okay, Con, you got it.
All right, this is right, chapter 25 and 23. A wicked woman abateth the courage, make them heavy countenance, and the wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. So a good sign of courting a sister is when you kind of down bad or you dealing with adversity or you catching hell, and she sends precepts to comfort you, man. Hey, look, it's all right. You know, this captivity is almost over with. The Lord said he coming like a thief in the night. Right? I know you want to enslave them. Which one you want to be your slave? She kind of try to make you think light about the matter, try to comfort you. She might bring a little humor in there. She might be there to comfort you. Yeah, you seen Love and Basketball, man. Even though that's a whole different thing. When Omar Epps, when his damn so-called pops, man, got caught up, you know, committing what they call cheating on his mom's, man. And he kind of needed her to be there. And she put practice and basketball before her man. Now in the world, you kind of say, well, it is basketball, you should understand. But in the truth, hey, look, guess what, man? Basketball can wait. And your husband, your man come first, man. I got curfew. You want to walk to my dorm? Nah, I just want to kick it here. Then you kind of looking at the clock, the big clock on campus, trying to figure out what's going on. And then your whole relationship is over for 4 years, man. Now you got to play for his heart. But guess what? You got to be able to comfort your husband, or a man should look at that as a sign. And it's a red flag if a woman, when you're in distress, there's no type of compassion or comfort. It's always negativity, beating you down. Oh, you ain't no man of the Lord. Then she start courting the next guy. And then she block you. Right, but you got it, King.
Oh, it's the book of Genesis, chapter 18 and verse 19. Right, going into the brothers. Right, it says, I'm gonna start at 18. Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I know him that he will command his children and his household after him. So the Lord said that he knows that Abraham is going to command his household. He's going to be diligent. He's going to teach them. He's going to not be a hypocrite. He's going to lead them according to the Lord, man. And that's what you got to have as a man and be a man in the house. Can't be a hypocrite. You can't tell the woman, you know, you're supposed to be reading and you're always on the couch. You're always slothful. You battle the same three demons: lust, slothfulness, and envy. You telling your woman that had a fruit to the spirit and you the main demon in the house, man. It says, and they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment. And that's very important as a man. You have to do justice and judgment. You can't overthrow your judgment in the household or with your woman, man. And be extra cruel or bend it too much or bend it at all, rather, and it overthrow you, man. It says that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he have spoken of him. So it says that he may bring upon Abraham by wellly doing these things, taking care of the household, working, judgment. The Lord is going to bring upon Abraham these blessings. You know, the Lord said, let me get this quick precept in Genesis. Right? It's the book of Genesis, chapter 21, in verse, matter of fact, let me get this real fast so I can bear with me. Now you got it, King. I'm gonna get it. No, I got it. Let me get this. It's Genesis chapter 26 and 12. Then Isaac sowed in that land, and received the same year in hundredfold. So Isaac was sowing in the land, man. He was doing the work of the Lord. You understand? Whether that be physically working, whether that be spiritually reading, you know, whether that be mentally being there for your wife and your children, you have to sow in the land. You know, you can't be a slothful man in the vineyard, man. There's always work to be done in the vineyard. It says, then Isaac sowed in that land and received the same year in hundredfold. So you may feel like what you're doing and what you're putting in isn't giving a huge blossom of an increase, but that's all in the Most High's time. It took a whole year for him to receive a hundredfold. You don't know, you be right at the door with your patience, right at the door with your fasting or your prayer or beseeching the Lord for whatever that may be, man. And the Lord, you know, understand, by long forbearing, you know, the Most High is going to give you that increase. It says, and the Lord blessed him. And that man, and the man waxed great and went forward and grew until he became very great. So you want to grow more and more as a man of the Lord. You understand, by doing the work and taking care of your family. You got it.
And that's a good precept, because when you're courting a man, like the brother said, there are also, Yaradan in the background. There are also red flags to look out for too as a sister, man. Because every brother with a beard on his face, fringes on his garment, a staff in his hand, and says Kwam Yasha Allah, is not a man of the Lord, man. Just because he's in the camp, Shalom, King.
Shalom.
Just because he's an elder, a deacon, a commanding officer, a captain, a lieutenant, a general, whatever name a man wants to, or whatever he's given or goes by, that doesn't make him a man of the Lord, man. You have righteous men, you have wicked men, and you want a sister, or the sister should be aware of particular things they want to look out for too. And it kind of goes back to the same thing. If he's asking, just like we said, it's vice versa. If he's always asking for pics of show me this, show me that, you never show me nothing, then that's a red flag, man. Right? Why don't you show me this? You know, that when you really go into it, that scripture is really talking about the Song of Solomon, where the fruit being sweet to the taste. I'm going to show you what that's really talking about. Right? You want to be aware of that, man. Hold on. That's not what that's talking about. Right? Let me get this precept real quick. And Wisdom of Solomon. Actually, let me go to Ecclesiastes chapter 16. So be aware of that. Don't give heed to that, man. That doesn't mean that man loves you. That doesn't mean that man has he's asking for pictures. He must really think I'm a precious daughter of Zion. He loves me because no, that's not what that means, sister. Oh, he cares about me. If he cared about you, he wouldn't be asking for lewd pics, man. He wouldn't be sexting you and asking you to lift your shirt. Just show me one time. Just one time, please. Okay, just one more time. Right? Just freaking off, man. Right? I'm not going to go too far. All right, but I'm going to stop right there. This is Sirach chapter 16 and 23. He that wanteth understanding, meaning a man that lacks understanding, will think upon vain things. And the foolish man erring imagineth follies. You got a lot of fools, they just imagine folly, man. You know, I think we should do. I think that you should do so and so and so and so, man. Oh, you don't love me. Then you try to manipulate it. You don't love me. You don't want to be with no real Israelite, man. And he try to manipulate the situation, man, and turn it against you, man. You got a lot of men, they try to manipulate the situation, man. And then and you may not know what's going on, but now they prey on you and use scriptures against you for their advantage. And they're breaking the scriptures down wrong, completely on purpose, just so they can see you damn naked, man. And lewdness. See, the Most High said in Revelation chapter 16 and 15, right? Let's see that watcheth, lest they see his. Let me read it real quick. This our brother was going to it. Behold, I come as a thief. Let's see that watcheth and keepeth his garments. Lest he walk naked and they see his shame. You see, so I got to keep your garments. All right? Take those garments. I got to see your garments. Because you don't want nobody to see your shame. All right, well, I guess I see what you're saying. And you start taking your garments off. Yeah, Revelation. Yeah, chapter 16. Right, verse 15. Right? Then he turned to damn DMX, man. Right? But you got to really, all jokes aside, you got to be aware of that because a lot of men, they're in this thing just to, get their rocks off. Right? They're not in this thing to build up a sister. They're not in this thing to build up a daughter of Zion. They're not in this thing to be a husband and a father. They're in this thing just to lay down with you like they was doing in the world, man. So you want to be aware of that. Him asking for pictures is a red flag. Now, if you kind of just want to see what you look like, whatever, that's fine. But if it's lewd, nasty pictures and turn around and send a video and, show yourself doing this and put it by the speak, all of that, that's wicked, man. And you want to sit there and say, no, that's off. That's a red flag. But you got it, down. I know you got something.
I was going to say, I kind of heard brothers pull Genesis 34. I'm going to read it real quick. It reads this, to their advantage. But of course, they're wrestling with the scriptures. They're mishandling the word. It's Genesis 34 and 1. It's like 35. And God said unto Jacob, arise, go up to Bethel, and dwell there, and make there an altar unto God, that appeared unto thee when thou fleetest from the face of thy brother, from Esau thy brother. Then Jacob said unto his household, and to all that were with him, put away the strange gods, and that are among you, and be clean, and change your garments. Kind of heard a brother say, hey, you got to change your garments for it. To his sister. I'm not going to explain how I heard this or when I heard it, but nevertheless, is that you got to change your garments in front of me. Now,
Yeah, so that's absolute madness. And you have to be aware of that. That's why we always say, a sister, when she comes into this truth, the first thing she shouldn't be looking for is a husband. She shouldn't be looking for, that shouldn't be her immediate focus. Just because you see these other women, you may see them on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and they got the baby in a bio, the baby emoji, and the wife, and they got the ring, and you don't have the ring emoji, and you're putting yourself down. That's okay, because you're supposed to be in this thing to be a servant of the Most High. Right? Let me get this in 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter, real quick. Right? You don't have to put your all focus into a man first and foremost. You're supposed to learn first and foremost how to be a sister. You understand? That's what you should learn how to be. Really, first and foremost, your main priority is how to be a daughter to the Heavenly Father. Your second priority is how to be a sister. Your third priority is you're building yourself up to learn how to be a mother and a wife. Right? That's the order. You don't just circumnavigate the first two and you just want to be a wife. You don't know how to cook, how to sew. You have no discernment. You have no spiritual understanding. So now these scriptures are the Most High is going to give you a wicked man. That's Sirach chapter 26 and 23. A wicked woman is given to a wicked man. And that works both ways. You're wondering why you can't find every man, all the men in Israel are wicked. They're all the same. I hate cats. I hate these men. They're all wicked. Are they, sister, really? Is every man wicked? Why is every man that you talk to wicked? Did you ever think about that? There's plenty of sisters who have righteous husbands, but every man that you end up courting, now they're wicked. So maybe something about you internally is off. Right? Let me read this real quick in 1 Corinthians chapter 7. So that's why you got to have some discernment to recognize these red flags, man. Right, real quick, this 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter. It's like pages stuck together. See that? All right, come. All right, this 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 35. It reads, I'm going to start at 34. There is difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman careth for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit. But she that is married careth for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. And this I speak for your own profit, not that it may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely. And here's the point. And that ye may attend upon the Lord without distraction. So when you come into this truth, you don't have a distraction. You don't have 3, 4, 5 kids, man. You don't have a husband to put your all in focus and lose sleep over. Now you have a woman. I mean, it's like now you have this truth in the Most High. You're supposed to take that time first and foremost when you come into this truth to learn how to be a daughter of Zion, learn the commandments, learn the precepts. So now when you're in a situation, when courtship is provided to you by the Most High, you have acquired discernment and other gifts that may benefit a man physically and spiritually that you may bring to the table. So be aware of men, just like men should be aware of women when all they want to do is talk about lewdness, and he's always asking for pictures, man. He wants to FaceTime and do videos and all types of weird, vile things. The brother's got it.
I got a quick precept. This Colossians 1 and 2. And it reads, to the saints and faithful brethren in Mashiach, which are at Colossus, grace be unto you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Yahushua Mashiach. We give thanks to God and the Father of our Lord Yahushua. It's like it. Colossians 3 and 1. That's what I want. If ye then be risen with Mashiach, seek those things which are above. Right? And when you're risen with Mashiach, that means you put away the old man. You put away your lust, your love for money. You put away anything that's a malice to the body. And it says, seek those things which are above. We know the things that are above and forward is the kingdom. That's why we have to press towards the mark. All right? Seek those things which are above, where Hamashiach sitteth on the right hand of God. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. You know, and I mentioned that to a sister in time past. I said, well, look, you don't want to look for the tallest brother, 6'3". His beard's down here. He's real buff. He got literally 316 tassels and fringes. And all he says is shalom. That's not the person you should really be looking for. Your views are superficial, as they say. Lo and behold, she went down that route. Now she's wearing pants. And there's no discernment going on. It's It's bad. Let me get one more. It's Sirach 6 and 7. It's like it's 7 and here it goes. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 7. And it reads, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first and be not hasty to credit them. And brothers might have brought that out already. But again, if you get a friend, you got to prove him first. But the only way you're allowed, or the only way you're capable of proving somebody is by proving and examining yourself. That's the only way you can properly prove somebody. I can't just come out the womb, no experience, no knowledge, and say, I'll prove you. According to what? You know, you got to prove somebody according to something, right? You got to prove them according to the Bible, right? And how the Bible, you know, sees a righteous woman. If you prove them according to the wisdom of your Uncle Ray Ray, and you know, your daddy, that's, you know, just got a lustful spirit on him, you're not going to get no wisdom, you know? And brothers even said, I'm going on a test drive. And a man's going to show those, you know, that spirit. But if you have no discernment, you know, to kind of see it, you're going to get jammed up, you know? So, you know, you got to have wisdom. You got to examine yourself first in the beginning. Because if you don't, you know, you will get jammed up. And you got 2 kids, and your husband's going to play PlayStation 5 all day in the basement. And it's dark, and he got incense going. He said, I got the incense going on, so it's cool. And it's Saturday morning. The babies are crying. You got 2 babies in your hand. They crying and just screaming for you. And there your man is just playing PlayStation 5, saying Kwame Ashura. I've heard stories like this. I'm not joking. I literally heard it.
Hey, I believe you.
That's all, right? Let me get this quick precept. It's the book of 1 Corinthians 13 and 4. It said, charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself. It is not puffed up. Doeth not behave itself unseemly. Seeketh not her own. So these are things that charity has. Man, charity is blameless, undefiled, perfect. These are the same attributes you should want about yourself. It said it suffereth long. Meaning you shouldn't want a brother that give up fast, man. Well, I just get another wife. Then he just push you to the side out of nowhere. Or he just stopped talking to you the first time y'all disagree. She says something and he's just totally against it and he just pushes her to the side. He don't suffer for long, man. He don't want to pray with her. He don't want to fast with her. Right? Everything in his mind, she's just wicked and off, and I don't want to deal with her. Not trying to help build her up. It says, is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself. It is not puffed up. Doeth not behave itself unseemly. Seeketh not her own. And that be a lot of brothers that will seek the things of themselves and not the things of that woman, man. I like the brother Yardon was going to, he just want to play PlayStation all day. Don't want to read, man. You got to read. You got to go inside of the scriptures. You got to do the work of the Lord, man. Right? He don't want to do the videos. He don't want to do the work of the Lord. His mind is fixated on folly and foolishness. It says, it's not easily provoked. And that be a lot of brothers, they get easily provoked, man. The smallest thing makes them wrathful. Now there's vengeance, man. Like it's World War III in the house. It says, not easily provoked. Thinketh no evil. You may be sitting up there and you like Saul, man. When his servants perceived he had an evil spirit on him because of his visage and his countenance. Whether he was pacing back and forth. There was no telling what Saul's visage and his countenance was when he had that evil spirit on him, man. It said that this thing thinketh no evil. So even when you're upset, you're angry, right? You don't want a brother thinking evil against his wife, man. Or thinking evil against the woman he's courting. Right? It says, rejoiceth not in iniquity. And a lot of people rejoice in iniquity. Somebody trip and fall. I knew the Lord was going to get you. I'm not judgment. Right? Something happened and you just rejoicing in iniquity, man. Rejoicing in folly, man. You can't be moving in that type of spirit. But rejoiceth in but rejoice in the truth. So the Lord said that you should rejoice not in iniquity, not in folly, not in foolishness, Because people rejoice when they get some food, go to a nice restaurant. They rejoice when that man, he finally bought him something. Well, I thought you was broke. You didn't never did nothing for me. Just rejoice in things of this world, man. But you have to rejoice in the truth by suffering long and doing all of these things. And it's Philippians chapter 2, right? In verse number 15. I'm going to start at 14. Do all things without murmuring and disputing, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of God, without rebuke. And you want to be unrebukable. You want to be blameless. It's going to be hard considering we in the flesh. We can't chill. But nevertheless, you have to strive for righteousness like our forefathers, man. It says that you may be blameless and harmless, the sons of God, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world. So you want to shine as a light for that sister that you bringing into the truth, teaching, because any speckle or blot that she sees on you, I mean, hey, you may not have a leg to stand on, man. That may destroy your whole case. That's why the Lord said you got to be blameless in this thing to the best of your ability, right, in these carnal bodies, and not let any man manipulate you, overthrow you, abuse you. And a lot of brothers be putting their hands on women, man, beating them up, right? Mental abuse, telling them they ain't cuss words, you ain't nothing. And you'll be destroyed every single day, using the scriptures wrong, like brothers was going to say. These things aren't righteous, man. And that's rejoicing in iniquity. It's not rejoicing in the truth.
And I want to get this real quick in that 1 Corinthians the 13th chapter, right? There's another thing you want to look out for, right? 1 Corinthians 13 and 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. So that maturity is something that a sister should be aware of when you're in the courtship. Is the man that you're courting, is he a child or is he a man? Does he have in his background or his damn room toy dinosaur, triceratops,
Transformers,
right? Transformers, damn slingshot, right? And a damn Nerf gun, right? These are the things in his background. You see him if y'all like on FaceTime or something like that, right? Does he work? Is he aspiring? Does he have a goal? Does he have a plan? Every time you ask him what is he doing, nothing, just like Yarrow said, playing the game. Nothing, just about to go hang out. No, I'm just eating. Right? Where do you live at? Oh, no, I try to do my thing. I do my thing. He don't want to tell you where he live at because he's living in his grandmother's basement. Playing with his toy triceratops. You know? And he got a Thundercats action figure, man. The Most High said, I'm going to read that again. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Are you courting a man of the Lord, or are you dating a damn child? Are you dating are you about to beat this man's mother? Is that what it looked like? Does it look like, is he asking you for money like an allowance? Like a 7-year-old ask his mother, look, I know I want to go over these scriptures, but after that, can you cash at me $45? I just gotta kind of, gotta make moves. You know me, I gotta make moves. I'm a man of the Lord. You got sister, okay, what's your cash app? Right? So and so and so and so. And be quick. And she sent him damn $45, man. To his cash app. What does he buy with that? Etch-a-sketch. Right? A damn toys, man.
The bots and things.
The soccer box.
Soccer bots.
He spends it on to go to the arcade. Don't deal with a child, a grown ass child, boy, man. Let me get one more real quick. This Ecclesiastes. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 36. Now, even if he kind of stand with his folks, he got a plan. He laid out the plan. He said, look, I'm here from January to March. I've been saving up, every 2 weeks. I've been putting aside $1,000. Within 6 months, I've been looking at this spot. I'm at my own spot. It's a 2-bedroom because if we do this, we're going to be able to do this. In my car, I've been leasing it, but I'm going to buy my car up. And he laying his plan down. He can prove. He got a whole plan. When you courting a man, does he have a plan? Where is his aspirations, his goals? Or is he just, the man of the Lord don't just go to camp and shake their hand and go back in their grandmother's house to eat dinosaur chicken nuggets.
Ketchup.
Right. With ketchup. Right. Let me get this precept real quick. Ecclesiastes the 36th chapter, man. Right? He has boxes of Capri Suns and he just eats dino nuggets.
It's apple juice.
Boy, Yardan's not making it any better, man. Right? Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 36. And let me get this quick precept. And verse Slakia. This is Sirach chapter 36 and verse 25. I'm going to read 24. He that getteth the wife begetteth the possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. So a man that gets a wife, you got to understand, look, if you become this man's wife, you become this man's possession. How does this man treat every other possession he has? That's how he's going to treat you. How does he treat his folks? How does he treat where he dwells? Or how does he treat his goals? How does he treat anything? Anything that's under his possession, how is it being cared for? Because that's how he's going to care for you. If he sits in his grandmother's basement, his dirty drawers here, he punches a hole in the wall here, he's yelling at his grandma while he's courting, he don't know how to do nothing, he's going to put that spirit on you, sister. Don't you know that you become this man's possession? Let me read on. Sirach chapter 36 and 25. Where no hedge is, see, a lot of brothers, they just say you got to be a pillar of rest. Well, brother, if she's going to be a pillar of rest, it has to be something for her to uphold. Can't be a pillar upholding shambles. A dilapidated foundation. Verse 25. Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. So if there is no protection around a woman, she can get taken advantage of by men, by demons, whatever the case may be. And he that hath no wife will wander up and down mourning. So if man don't have a wife, it'll put a spirit on him, because it is not good that man should be alone. Verse 26. Who will trust a thief well appointed, that skippeth from city to city? So who will believe a man that hath no house, and lodgeth wheresoever the night taketh him? Who's going to believe a man that don't have no house? Why would you believe a man that goes from house to house? One minute he crashing in his brother's house, then he crashing at his grandmother's house, then he crashing at his auntie house, then his homeboy house. But then he come to you and tell you about his business plan. You don't want to hear about that, man. A woman, if she's courting a man, this man should have his own spot before y'all get married. He may not have it while y'all courting, but he should be aspiring to get it done. And he should have his own spot, because he's looking to marry you. Where is he going to move you to, man? His grandmother's damn attic is hot as hell, man. And she controls everything. Broomstick up there, keep it down. Laundry time. Leave your ring on the dresser. Right? You don't pay anything. Listen, this brother should have his own crib. Even if he got like he might have a 1-bedroom. Hey, at least he doing things for himself. He might have his wills. He's doing things for himself. You don't want to be with an infidel, a man that has no understanding. He's never had a job before. He worked at the car wash in the summertime. He has a lemonade stand. And he just plays, he does FanDuel all day. He bets on sports. The brother's got it.
Somebody said eating SpaghettiOs.
Yeah, like that's a red flag right there. A man with no drive, a man with no initiative, a man with no ambition, a man that has no goals, a man that stays in his grandmother's basement or his mother's basement, and he has no plans or nothing. But he just always wants to go over the scriptures, but he never wants to do anything to set up a sure foundation and dwelling place for you and him, man. That's madness. That's a red flag. A lot of sisters ignore it and they get jammed up. Talking about, oh, he know the scriptures. Well, the scriptures teach you. Let me get this real quick in 1 Timothy real quick. Right? Scriptures don't teach you just how to get on Esau. That's not what the Bible does. The Bible does. It's not just about this is the book of getting on Esau and then everything else after that. Right? Let me get one more real quick. I know brothers want to get there. This 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. So if that brother doesn't have anything to bring to the table besides Revelation chapter 13 to 14, that's a red flag. You got it, King.
Brother Jimmy. This is Rack 29 and 20. Jump to it. Mighty points. Let me jump to Sirach 29 and 22. Better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage. This just to land back off what brother was saying. I mean, you rather have a mean cottage. It's better for him to be in a barn because at least he can say it's his own. It's his, right? Better, it's like 22. Better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage than a delicate fare in another man's house, right? That's not, it's one thing if you're trying to get yourself together, it's like to get yourself together and whatnot, but it's a whole nother, like, again, if you don't have any ambition or drive or a plan. My father even told me you got to have a plan A, B, C, and sometimes D, because life is going to take lefts and rights. So you have to plan accordingly and move in wisdom and foresee the evil. And you gotta understand, okay, if this don't work, okay, I gotta plan backup plan. This is gonna be it's gotta be X, Y, and Z. You don't just wing it through life. This is Judith chapter 8. I was reading it yesterday, and I was like, dang, this is deep. This is really deeper than what you think. This is Judith chapter 8. I'm gonna jump down to verse 4. So Judith was a widow in her house 3 years and 4 months. And she made her a tent upon the top of her house and put on sackcloth upon her loins and wore. I'm start up verse 1, slightly, or slightly verse 2. And Manasseh was her husband of her tribe and kindred, who died in the barley fest. For as he stood overseeing them that bound sheaves in this field, right? A lot of people skip over this, but he was overseeing people. He had a job. He wasn't a bum. He was a mighty man. He took care of his family. And when you oversee people, that means you're in a certain position of leadership. And it reads that heat came upon his head and he fell on his bed and died in the city of Bethulia. And they buried him with his fathers in the field between Dotham and Baal-Alamo. So Judith was a widow in her house 3 years and 4 months, and she made her a tent upon the top of her house, and put on sackcloth upon her loins, and wear her widow's apparel. And she fasted all the days of her widowhood, save the eves of the Sabbaths and the Sabbaths, eves of the Sabbaths, and the eves of the new moons, and the new moons, and the feasts and the solemn days of the house of Israel. Right? So you have to ask yourself, did she just wake up and just, okay, I'll do this just because? No, who do you think gave her the mentality to move in the spirit, her husband, because the woman is going to mirror you in one way, shape, form, or fashion. She should. After all, you're the head of the household. I mean, the whole household is going to look just like you, as is the chief, so is the officers, right? You're supposed to be the management. So again, she's moving in the spirit because of her husband, Manasseh. That's why she's fasting. You don't think he exhorted her and told her comely things and to be mighty and to be strong? That's why she's moving in the spirit. And it reads, she was also of a goodly countenance and a very beautiful to behold. And her husband Manasseh had left her gold and silver and manservants and maidservants and cattle and lands and remained upon them. And that's mighty. Not everybody's not going to, fall into great riches, but nevertheless, he has something for her, just something, But above that, he gave her wisdom, knowledge, understanding, exhortation. Because again, your house is a reflection of you. The same way the king is a reflection of the people, so on and so forth. I got one more. This is another example. This is Acts 5:1. But a certain man named Ananias with Sapphira, his wife, sold a possession and kept back part of the price. His wife also being privy to it. Now she could have said, well, hold up, you're going off. Hey, but she was privy to it as well. Because again, man, he's a reflection. And it reads, and brought a certain price and laid it at the apostles' feet. But Peter said, Ananias, why hath Satan filled thine heart to lie to the Holy Ghost and to keep back part of the price of the land? Whilst it remained, was it not thine own? And after it was sold, was it not in thine own power? Why hast thou conceived this thing in thine heart? Thou hast not lied unto men, but unto God. And Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and gave up the ghost. And great fear came on all them that heard these things. And the young men arose, wound him up, and carried him out, and buried him. And it was about the space of 3 hours after, then his wife, not knowing what was done, came in. And Peter answered unto her, tell me whether ye sold the land for so much. And she said, yea, for so much. Then Peter said unto her, how is it that ye have agreed together to tempt the Spirit of the Lord? Behold, the feet of them which have buried thy husband are at the door, and shall carry thee out. Then she fell down straightway at his feet, and yielded up the ghost. And the young man came in and found her dead, carrying her forth, buried her by her husband. That's deep. That man put a spirit on the household. Because again, it starts with the husband, right? 9 times out of 10. And it's a domino effect after that. So this man literally just destroyed his whole household.
Let me get this quick picture. That's a good point too. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 24 and verse 27. It says, prepare thy work without and make it fit for thyself in the field. All right, so when you go build a house, you don't just start grabbing wood and pliers and start just gluing stuff together. You're grabbing a hammer when you need a chisel, grabbing a saw when you need a damn blade, and you don't even know how to construct the whole thing, man. You have to take time to build a house. You have to have the proper foundation, right? You have to make sure the beams are set up straight. You have to have the leveling. You have to understand that if these things are off a little bit, it could overthrow the whole house, man. To prepare thy work without and make it fit for thyself in the field. Where you're going to live, right? What steps you're going to take to be in this thing, and when we're going to read, when we're going to pray, when we're going to fast. Your woman doesn't know when to fast, then that's going to fall on you. If that sister doesn't know, how to break this down, and she's searching the internet, trying to figure out the breakdown, and falls among thorns, that's going to fall upon you. So you got to prepare your work without and make it fit for thyself in the field. And afterwards, build thine house. So after you get all of your supplies together, where you're going to live, how much children you want, right? Where you see yourself in 2 years, if this kingdom is still standing and you're still alive. These are conversations you got to have, man. Can't just jump into something. Your husband has a mind that he wants multiple wives, and you know nothing about it. Y'all never talked about it. Now you're in this situation, you jammed up, right? Your back is against the wall. You may not want kids, but your chief desire as a woman is to bring forth and have children. But y'all never talked about these things. Y'all never came in the field and evaluated all of the supplies, the hammers, the chisels, the nails, right? The screwdrivers. You never looked at all of these things. You just start building out of rage of wanting a house, just so you can fastly live in it and go to hell off in it, man. Right? You got to prepare yourself and look at these things. And two, the Lord said, this is the book of Proverbs 17:1. Better is a dry morsel and quietness therewith than a house full of sacrifices with strife. Right? So, I mean, sometimes it's good to compromise. Somebody that doesn't want to compromise is going to overthrow their house. You don't compromise, you know, your wife may want XYZ. You don't want to compromise and give it to her. Now, if she's going off and you're withholding things or you're foreseeing evil, that's being wise. But, I mean, if it's just folly and foolishness, that's off, man. The Lord said better was a dry morsel. So it's better to just have your little cot, your little room, right? Your little job, your little car. You got to kick it to start it. And then you got to shake it, right, to get it, the damn thing. You got to bang on the hood 3 times. Hey, better is to have a little, you're going to have a Jaguar, right, a Porsche, right, 4-bedroom house, but your whole house is full of strife. It's full of wickedness because the way you set it up as a man is very important. Oh, you got it.
And I want to make a.
Go ahead. This second Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 22. Just to let me back off building a house. Right? A lot of brothers will come into this thing saying, I want 4 wives. Hold up, brother. You got to build your first house. You know, you got to make sure everything's looking pretty and nice and well structured and fortified. You know, have you ever seen a person build 2 houses at the same time? On HGTV, I'm going to build 2 houses at the same time. That makes no sense. You're going to destroy yourself. You know, a lot of Israel, you know, you in this for the glitz, the glamour, the pretty titles. Like your brother said, the ring emoji and the babies emojis. Some people want to get married just so they can finally put no DMs. Head. No DMs. No DMs. Happily married. Kwam Yasharala. This is second Maccabees. People really look at all those things and they, man, that's cool. I want to get married. All my friends are getting married. I have to get married. You can't move in that spirit. That's not even sincere. So it reads in second Maccabees chapter 2, verse 22. I'll jump down to 26 to get to the point. Therefore, to us that have taken upon this painful labor of abridging, it was not easy, but a matter of sweat and washing. It's like his sweat and washing. Even as it is no ease unto him that prepareth the banquet and seeketh the benefit of others. Yet for the pleasuring of many, we will undertake gladly this great pains, leaving to the author the exact handling of every particular and laboring to follow the rules of the abridgment. I'm get to the point. For as the master builder of a new house, right? And when you courting somebody, you're building a new house, right? This is fresh. And before you even build the house, like the brother said, you have to have the right utensils, the right instruments, the right tools, the right measurements, the right everything. But before that, before you even have the instruments, you gotta make sure you got the right foundation. If it's not on the right foundation, it's gonna melt. Let me bring this out real quick. It's Matthew chapter 7, verse 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. Right? So you got to receive instruction before you build or do anything in life. So you got to receive the instructions of the Lord and hear what the Lord told you to do. How to evolve and to level up in this thing. You have to hear instruction first, gather the tools, and then start building. It reads, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat up that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. So when you receive the instructions, you get your instruments, your tools, then you build up your house, and you go through certain trials and tribulations. I mean, ain't much is going to happen. It's inevitable, but understand it won't do great damage because you built that house with your wisdom, your hands, blood, sweat, the Spirit of the Lord. Verse 26, and everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. Some brothers come, I'm going to build I want 4 wives. Well, look, brother, your foundation is sand now. So once you get that wife, all hell's going to break loose. Oh, what happened? What happened? Why is this happening? Oh, brother, I'm going through affliction. The Lord chastising me. Brother, you're getting judged because you wanted 4 wives, 2 dogs, and 2 PlayStations, and an iPhone. But let me go back to 2 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 29. For as the master builder of a new house must care for the whole building, but he that undertaketh to set it out and paint it must seek out fit things for the adorning thereof. Even so, I think it is with us. So even our forefathers can understand how laborious it is to build the house, right? Even so, to gather the things to put inside of it, That I yield.
Kind of. I want to make another point on a red flag is if a lot of times in the truth, brothers have folks in the truth. If they just if they're rushing to meet you in person, that's a red flag, right? And that's even regardless if they have folks in the truth or not. If they want to rush and see, let's say y'all live out of state and y'all live far from each other or whatever the case may be, if they're rushing to see you in person or for you to come over at night, and that's a red flag. That should be an immediate warning in your mind to charge you to hold on. This brother, his mind not right. He's just in this thing to do God knows what with me, right? Day one, when you coming over, right? Let me show you. I want to show you something, right? Let me do this for you. When you gonna come over and do this? You never want to come over. They always playing, right? And just trying to coerce her to come over, man. Right? Let me show you something. I got this mean so-and-so. I want to cook for you. Let me do this for you. Right? Let me show you my pet this and so-and-so. Brothers have to be or sisters have to be mindful of that rushing to meet you spirit. And also, like I said, if you got folks that's in your life, and he's just blatantly ignoring that, it's also a red flag, man. The hell with your folks. Now, let me get this in Judges, the 14th chapter. Right? That's another thing you want to look out for. Not every situation is the same, but these are things that should kind of make your ears go up. Right? This is the book of Judges, chapter 14 and 1. And Samson went down to Timnath and saw a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. And he came up and told his father and his mother and said, I have seen a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. Now, therefore, get her for me to wife. So in the ancient world, the parents played a pivotal role when it came to marriage. The father would choose the wife for the man, if that was the scenario, and the father would give the daughter into marriage to the husband. So if the folks are in their parents' life, and every situation is different, and they want to kind of meet the man, or they want to, and the man should want to, man, that would be the honorable thing. That thing should be done, because in the ancient world, we kind of lost touch in this society, but it's a family thing. Marriage is business. It was networking. It was families coming together. This man's house and this man's house, and they become one, man. So it's more than just, I'm gonna just lay down with this woman and I'm gonna take her to camp on the feast day. No, it's deeper than that, man. The man should have he should want to have a rapport with that sister's family and vice versa. You know, so that's something also brothers want to look out for, and that's how it worked in the ancient world. You know, but brothers, God, just want to make that quick point.
And like I say, get thee the love of the congregation. You know, you gotta get the love of the family. It doesn't say that, but you gotta use wisdom to understand when to apply it and when to, you know, pretty much apply it in other situations as well. You know, not to say you gotta coon and be, you know, be simple, but you have to use wisdom and know when to use sweet words to multiply friends. Like brother said, it is network. You know, it's transactions going on. You know, you shouldn't want to just I'm gonna be absent from the family. I don't want them to hear from me at all whatsoever. You telling your Rick, don't mention my name ever again. It's only me and you forever. You know, matter of fact, pack your bags. Just leave the house. I'm outside. Go.
That's all.
And then she packed her stuff. She nervous. She put her fringe. She forgot her fringes. She put her pants in the bag. She got a trash bag and got a long stick and Bender just ran outside, man. And threw it in the back of your car with 3 tires. You know, sped off into the night. And parents, what's going on?
And they filed a missing persons report.
Yep.
They filed a missing persons report because they don't know what happened to their child that was kind of staying with them. And now you're in hot pursuit, man. Yeah. You're on 6 o'clock news. Amber Alert. All of them vibrations going off on the phone is because of you, brother. You know, they got one for they take underage, and they got people that take overage. I think a silver alert. I think it's when you take older people or something like that.
Yep.
And that's if she's staying with her folks. You know?
Just run off into the night. You get these big fat notifications. Where are you? What's going on? Where's my daughter? All exclamation marks.
And he's saying block them. You don't need to talk to them no more.
It's only me.
They're no good for you. Block your father, block your mother, block your sister, block your brother. Block them all. You don't need them no more. Just ride or die. Right? You seen waist. He said you seen waist deep. Right? And he started quoting these movies. Man, you seen Bonnie and Clyde. And he calls you and him Bonnie and Clyde, man. Not Most Def, damn. Tyrese and Megan Good, man, from Waist Deep. You know? And now you got to cut off all your folks. You got to delete all your social media. You got to give them your wallet, right? And give them your social. And he's pressing you out for your birth certificate, man. And he makes you do the fingerprint cards, right? The fingerprint cards, and then he puts them in his files, man. Then he throws you in the basement and locks you up in the basement, man.
And he said Mark 10 and 8 all day. Every time he takes something, Mark 10 and 8. Yeah. Hey, you should leave your father and mother, and we should be one. He quote that after everything he take from you, Mark 10.
Yep.
You kind of waking up, putting spirits on you.
Yeah, yep. A brother would do that, man. A wicked man to do that. A wicked man to just completely be a demon, man, and abuse you. And then quote scriptures. Let me get this precept real quick. Quote scriptures until your destruction, man. Right? This the classic. Brothers know this is the book of Matthew, the 4th chapter. Right? This ain't Matthew, the 4th chapter. Sisters got to be aware of that. That's why you got to come to this thing and kind of be rooted. Right? Mark chapter 4. And I'm going to start at verse 6. I'm going to start at 5. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city and setteth him on the pinnacle of the temple. So the Satan took up Yahushua and saith unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. So even again, the devil, Satan knows the scriptures, man. He can pull Psalms 91 and use it to destroy you, man. Now, peradventure Yahushua didn't have any discernment. Say, well, yeah, that is a scripture. I am the Son of God. I kind of cast myself down, and the angels are going to be there. No, the devil will tempt you, man. So be aware of those brothers who kind of make you block everybody and cut off all your social media and They give you one dress. Here, you wearing this now. With a hanger, they shove it in your damn chest, man. It doesn't fit. Shut up. Right? Put some fringes on it. And now you're from damn Washington State and you move somewhere to damn Miami, man. And you've never seen your folks again. The brothers got it.
That happened real quick. So like one last thing, one point. That happened in that movie, Tyler Perry, A Fall from Grace. He started taking stuff from her. I think he told her, shut up. And he literally had all those women in his basement chained up.
Yep.
He was cool in the beginning, you know, and in one scene he was kind of leaned back like this, smoking a cigarette.
Yep.
Said, what are you doing? He said, shut up. Something like that. You can watch
and he was taking pictures of her, but he was really taking pictures of her bank account information and giving it to his old lady, man, Felice Rashard.
Yeah.
The brothers got it. You gotta be aware of these signs. You have something to write? God, yeah. So just summing everything up. Be aware of these signs. Be aware of lewd pictures and just perverted talk. Be aware of a man that has no plan, no goal. He's just asking you for money. He don't respect you. He's over controlling about, y'all are courting, and he's telling you you're going to bed at 7 p.m. Right? Take a picture of yourself. Sleep. Put the camera automatically, record yourself sleep. Send me the video in the morning. I can creep. Buy the tripod. I'm gonna buy you a tripod. So you should get the tripod, pack the tripod, put a phone in, press record. Make sure you charge your phone. I want to watch you sleep. Right? And he sit there, yeah. Good job. Yeah. You submissive. I am, right? And he's just watching you sleep, man. You got to be aware of these things, man. These are red flags. And if there's that's why it's also good to get counsel. It's good to get counsel, man. If you're courting something, it should be, if you're in a congregation, your leadership should know about it. Whether that's your ranking officer or whatever, sergeant, the captain, lieutenant, whatever, brothers have going on. But people should be aware of a courtship because they may be prudent to see something that you may not see. Don't just court somebody in the dark and just do God knows what, man. Because you don't want to be held accountable. You just want to get your rocks off. And she just want to do the exact same thing. So there should be accountability presented to both parties in the courtship that they can both, take, man. That she may be doing us off and he may be doing us off, man. And don't ignore the red flags. The brothers got it.
Yeah, like the brother said, summing up everything. You can't ignore the red flags, man. The Most High is warning you through these precepts. If you don't take heed to the wise counsel, right, the wise counsel, the Lord could overthrow you. Let me get this quick precept real fast. Right? It's the book of Proverbs. Chapter 19 and verse, I'm going to start at 20. Hear counsel and receive instruction that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. Right? So you got to take all the counsel of the scriptures that's brought out through the Spirit and apply it. If you're not applying it, you don't take the words of the Lord, and you're doing your own pleasures, then, the Lord may overthrow you. Huh? So continue to be diligent, read, pray, fast, do everything you can do to magnify the name of the Lord, because everybody's damn attacked, man, by the spiritual demon Satan. The Lord said, let me get this quick precept. Right? It's the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 3, and verse 3. That no man should be moved by these afflictions, for yourselves know that we are appointed thereto. For verily, when we were with you, we told you before that we shall suffer tribulation, even as it came to pass, and ye know. For this cause, when I could no longer forbear, I sent to know your faith, lest by some means the tempter have tempted you, and our labor be in vain. So Paul is warning the church, right? The tempter is going to tempt you. It's going to tempt you with idolatry, lewdness, sexual folly, and he's going to try to get under your skin, overthrow your house. So Satan's trying to attack and overthrow everybody, man. And you don't want to give heed to these things. Because if the tempter tempt you, and you fall down or bow, right, or give up the ghost and fall and be manipulated and sifted out, then everything that you've done in the truth would have been in the vain. Brothers, guys.
Con. Was that any closing precepts?
Con, I go.
Con.
Let me get this quick precept. All right, look at the classic. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 2. It says, be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die, for I have not found thy works perfect before God. So the Lord is telling you to strengthen anything that remains in your life that's dying off spiritually, man. Or whatever it is, your family, your job, you understand, watching for the prophecies, right? Praying, fasting, because these things escape us, right? By not holding ourselves diligent. It says, for I have not found thy works perfect before God. Remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee.
There's Luke chapter 7, verse 23. And blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. Right? When you read that, you got to remember as well that everything Yahushua said is not of his own accord. It's the doctrine that the Lord gave him, the Heavenly Father gave him. Right? Everything Yahushua said, the Most High allowed him to say it. So ultimately, the Most High is speaking to you through the scriptures. Right? He'll tell you to examine yourself. And if you don't want to examine yourself, that's because you don't want to face the demons in the mirror. Right now, you offended. You know, you don't want to take accountability. You're scared. You know, you don't want to move in that spirit in these last days. You have to take accountability. Look in the mirror. You know, or else that action shows that you're offended at him. Because if he told you to do something, you don't do it. I mean, you just all types of wicked. You know, so God.
Get the class in Revelation, the 22nd chapter, right? Revelation 22 and 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. So if you have been exhibiting the traits and putting out these red flags, and you've been doing these things as a woman or as a man, you better check yourself, man. And if you know somebody who are telling you that these things are happening to them, you should warn them and let them know that these things ought not to be done, man. And that this person should get counsel to see if this person is really the one that they should be taking this time to court, man. And let me say this, just because you're courting somebody doesn't mean you have to marry them. I'm courting them, I have to marry. No, you don't have to marry them. You're proving them. Right? And your courtship shouldn't be any lewd sexual contact, man. You know? It shouldn't be like that, man. It should be strictly spiritual. That's what even Tobias said, hey, I take not this woman out of lust, but uprightly that we may grow age together. You know, so that's the spirit that you want to be in the courtship. Keep it spiritual. If you make it carnal, the Most High is going to give you over to your carnality, and it's going to be your destruction. That's what it means. He should give unto every man according as his work shall be. But if you're putting in righteous work in your courtship and you're taking that time and you're praying together, you're fasting, you're getting to know each other, you know, they parents, they know your parents, you know, y'all kind of met, but y'all kind of just, you know, talked, then y'all kind of went home, then y'all met again, then, you know, it's nothing but righteousness, and it's being approved, and people know about it. Her sisters know about it, your congregation, they know about it. That's a righteous courtship. And the Most High is going to prosper that marriage, man. You know, but with that, we're going to close up, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh, Shema Mashiach, like Yahushai. We're going to postpone the the Q&A. Lord willing, until next week, we'll do another Q&A within the Cold Cuts Resurrected channel. Everybody watching there, they should be subscribed to the Cold Cuts Resurrected channel to tune in for the upcoming Q&A. But with that, we're going to close up again, giving our honor and glory to Yahweh Shema Shai. Kwam Yasham.